Greetings and salutations, weary traveler. Welcome to the M&Me podcast. Step into our digital abode and warm yourself by the fire of friendship as we query into a quiver of similitudes. Welcome, everybody.
Yes!
It's
powerful thing you just said.
I know, and it's a cool night here in Cincinnati.
Cool.
We're not in Cincinnati, but in Cincinnati it's a cool night, 79 degrees.
But you are.
If you were,
on Monday, we're looking at a sunny Monday for here Memorial Day in Cincinnati. It's not Memorial Day, Labor Day.
It's a holiday.
It's a holiday.
It's going on
and it's going to be a nice cool night at 53. So during the day,
Dallas?
wear a tank
like
top and get your.
Could you let me know how tomorrow's going to be?
Dallas.
And you. It'd help both of us.
Yeah, no, we're looking at a good one tomorrow. So be at the pool because we got a 65% chance of rain. So, yeah, we got a 65% chance of rain with some thunderstorms.
50
so,
and 100.
You know what they say though? They say the higher percent of chance of rain you have, technically it's the lower the odds are you're going to get it, and the lower the chance, the higher.
The rain ends up being the rarest of rains, purple.
Yes,
rain.
It could be.
So anytime it rains, there's an opportunity for you to finally see purple rain.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen it 3 times.
Have you?
Yeah, I was really young though.
Jeff, what'd you think about that intro? I switched it up on you. Jeff was taken back by it. Yeah.
The intro was great. Everything after was like, why?
Yeah. Jeff just mad because we're not going to get to Louisiana. At any point, we're not going to get to Louisiana's weather.
That's a conscious decision.
We're just going to go everywhere else in the world but Louisiana.
Well, if we get there, we would naturally get there. You're just putting on a list of...
Not going there.
We'll stop by there when we get a chance.
How's everybody doing? How was your week, Matthew? Did you have a good week?
Yeah, I think so. They're all blurred together, so... Did anything interesting happen? Probably.
No, but you know one thing
way.
we did bring up Chris brought up just a little bit ago. It is coming up.
Oh yeah,
Little Sela is going to be a year.
Oh yes.
Somebody will have been here for a year.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Pretty soon.
That's crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy.
We haven't done one of those reviews. We'll have to get to that sometime.
I know. Bad dad. They really all just learn to get. I got through the part
Interview
of
the
like
baby.
worried about her dying. Like she's more of a threat to herself now because she's actually so much more mobile. To where it's like, the whole baby proof and stuff.
Interview the baby though.
We have before, unintentionally, but she's had the opportunity to speak. Yeah,
as soon as she's ready.
Yeah, she's made her opinions known from the other room before.
Get the Ouija board out. It's time to talk to dead
That would be a shock to everybody that knows me.
Jeff,
as casually, it's like he's joking with the Ouija board. I don't think he would do that. Like I wouldn't. This is the devil.
How's everything on your side of the pond, Jeff? The swamp.
Since you live in England.
I know.
The pond,
the swamp.
The swampy
Dude,
pond.
I'm chilling, man.
You're across the marsh. You're across the bog from us.
Had a busy week at work selling medical marijuana.
There you go. Well, that's always lovely.
Oh, so is that's your side hustle?
That's his profession.
That is my chosen profession.
There you go.
They have he works for business.
Business.
A pharmacy.
A pharmacies.
Oh, okay, cool.
This is actually legal and legit.
It is legal.
Yeah, you're just working in something that's close to your heart.
Yes.
If you can work somewhere that's close to your heart, hey, I really believe in what they're doing. I really believe in it. And so I want to work there.
Yes.
I guess if I worked at like a Dune book factory or a Twin Peaks store.
Whoa, dang, that'd be pretty awesome.
That actually would be awesome.
That would be so cool. So before we get into our typical normal movie stuff,
I'm glad that you like it so much.
I love it, man. I'm really glad. It's been a great ride.
It's not our fault that you just
we're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up.
Quarter-assed the effort.
We're wrapping it up
even
soon.
being on the ball, but it's cool.
We're gonna be wrapping it up soon.
He's like, hey, I didn't establish how long we're going to be going. This is the natural. This is the natural way of things.
Sorry, son.
And God forbid, like when I'm an old man, am I going to be trying as hard when I was a young man? No, I know better. I know what I'm capable of. You're the same way at the movie picking. It's getting towards the end. I really tried hard in the middle. I'm just going to mail it in, and that's cool. That's cool, but it makes sense.
So before we get, did we lose Jeff? Is he still here? What happened to the
No,
picture?
he's
Okay,
I'm
cool.
here. I'm here.
All right, okay,
I'm
I see.
here.
I need to pin him.
So
Pin. There we go.
I had a thought, and I was curious
Uh-oh.
to know what y'all's thoughts on this would be. If you could have any movie.
I'd be Asian.
Oh.
Okay. Well,
Oh, my bad.
that answers another
I'd
question.
marry Asian.
I'd marry Asian. Yeah. If you could pick any movie to be a
one race.
If you could pick any movie to be a rated R movie, what movie would it be?
Wizard of Oz.
You would a rated R Wizard of Oz?
That would hurt you back. Something shouldn't be touched, Like,
That's scary. That movie
dude,
was already
I
creepy.
think if they just showed the making of Wizard of Oz, it'd be rated R.
I'm saying I guess any movie has it, but I guess as the individual, what would you like to see? That'd be cool to see like a hardcore rated R version of the Ten Commandments,
The Ten Commandments rated R?
Yeah, just
that would be
it
wild.
Just being true. It just
Yeah.
literally not being
Like
whatever,
the
but
10
it's like the
plagues,
Passion of the
like
Christ
seeing
was
the
rated
10
R
plagues.
Yeah.
because they want to show. I'll be like the 10 plagues. Yeah, this is right. The baby's dying and stuff. It'd be,
I'd say
Jumped right to the
Babies
main one.
What do you think, Jeff?
Spoiler alert.
What do you want to see? What would you see rated R?
Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz. Sorry.
What else would
What
you
else?
recommend
You got,
rated
no,
R?
you got anything better? No, I'm
Something
kidding.
I won't
tips.
forget
I would
in the 30
say
seconds.
I would say the
Toy
Christmas story.
Story.
Oh, both of them was story. Toy Story. I say the Christmas story.
I'm glad
That's
you're
mine.
connecting dots.
I am connecting dots.
I love
So
it.
yeah, I just figured that would be the best. But you would. What about another one with an animal?
Babe.
Babe.
Babe is close to
Charlotte's
the
Web.
I love Babe.
Don't kill
The
this
sequel
fucking
was
pig.
Babe Pig in the City.
Ba-
I want to see Babe Pig in the Hood.
Pig on the streets or
He was like, don't
Pig
fuck
in
with
the
that
streets.
swine. That would be fucking
Yeah,
with no
don't-
pork.
What about like Free Willy rated R?
yeah,
That was
yeah.
the
I mentioned that
Matthews.
one. I mentioned that one.
Let's do it in the AI thing.
Oh yes.
Let's run it in AI. If AI were to write a rated
And
R
this is-
Free Willy.
and This is scratches niche for me as far as just showing people who want to create things. I just can't imagine being like in the writing of anything, even writing scripts, books. Literally, like there's no reason. And the thing is, there's no reason if people buy it just as easily. Why wouldn't you just have to not pay anybody to write novels, to
Yeah.
write screenplays, write scripts, to write anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Use
it's only
AI.
the market's gonna dictate. Like
Yeah,
all about
you would have to
profitability.
go through and read some of the stuff and maybe refine things. But as far as anything
Oh yeah,
else,
it'd be like I'll get it to do 90% of it,
Yeah.
and then I might go change names or a few things to make it unique to me.
Yeah.
It'd be. So I'm about to quit, and I'm gonna start making because, I'll be like, hey, what are they trying to pay somebody? I'll do it for $10, and every time it plays, like they can do it themselves. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing. Be like,
Darren
shit.
Aronofsky did that.
No, dude.
I just like to say that name.
I'm sorry.
No, Mikey likes to say it even more.
Darren Aronofsky.
I love it.
Okay, let me.
Nicholas
It's like
Winding
marinara.
Refn.
Marinara.
Nicholas Winding
It's good. You
Refn.
want to learn the names. That's good. You pick the one, and they do. A lot of those guys do power. A lot of directors have funny names, though. Really, you think about it more.
Oh, shit.
Oh no.
Podcast is over.
Oh no.
We're
Uh-oh.
in trouble.
The love of my life walked through the door.
Oh no.
Womp, womp.
Yeah.
What's up, Steph?
All right.
What happened?
From who?
Dave,
Is he dead? Is he dying? Is he getting a wreck?
asking who my favorite thriller book authors are.
Whoa.
But how does he even know that?
Oh, is Dave watching the podcast?
Who? Who's Dave?
My stepfather.
Oh,
Do we have
stepfather
a
Dave.
Do we have a caller?
Potentially.
No, he could have.
We have
he
a
could have
wife
watched the one
that
that.
came in and started. No, it's funny.
The second one.
Oh, I used to have one of those.
He just said, I just said my
So
wife and can hear him.
casually.
He's just like, oh, I used to have one of those.
That's hilarious.
It's like a really he can make me
Good riddance, am I right?
It's great. That's one thing. I never want to be like a widower, but I would really take advantage of it and like make me so uncomfortable with jokes.
I know
You
you
know what
would.
you
So,
need to do
I like
is
to
start
insinuate
calling
that I am a
Stephanie your
widower.
ex-girlfriend. He was like, Stephanie's no longer my girlfriend. He's
Yeah,
like,
no.
that's a terrible way of telling people we're married.
No, or that's a terrible way of saying that like they died.
Yeah.
It's like, well, she's not my wife anymore. Like, what? Oh, she stopped living. All right, so what was I gonna ask this thing? Dave, yeah, he must have seen it, which is cool, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's spreading. That's some.
Honestly, though, an
takes a year
honest
for it.
answer to that, Mikey, would be like Jurassic Park.
Rated
Text
R,
them back.
But that was
Jurassic
Jurassic
Park,
Park.
PG-13,
Okay.
so it
If
would
it
be
but I
see
releasing
what
up a little.
Yeah,
not that
but
much.
they could go full clip with it.
They could go full
Yeah,
bad.
it would be nice to see a really legit rated R dinosaur movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, them just ripping the people
Yeah.
to shreds.
So what was I gonna ask you?
Free Willy AI story.
Okay.
Rated R. Write a rated R version of a killer whale. Of killer whale.
No, specifically Free Willy.
Yeah, Free
Free
Willy.
Willy,
No, I
okay,
know
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Regret versus.
Make it star a guy named Jeff. Hey, Chris.
Guys, I think I just saved the podcast. Pug just got hung up in some wires. Oh, wow.
So I'm just saying, write a rated R version. Thing is, I need to just start using
Be
the voice to
descriptive.
text because you can really just talk to him, and it really is really. So I'm gonna get it to write a rated R version of the movie Free Willy, make it over the top, graphic, violent, with a very sharp sense of humor, make it as offensive as possible. Okay, so we'll see we'll just start there. Let's see. Okay, I can help with creating content that has a dark, edgy tone, but I want to make sure we're on the same page. Crafting something that's deliberately offensive or extremely graphic could cross
Yeah,
boundaries.
it's
that
gonna
aren't appropriate for
lecture you, bro. I was about to
I
say,
know,
how
but
are you
yeah,
gonna get
but
away with that?
if you're interested in something with dark humor or satires, more attention.
Yeah, proceed.
Proceed with the original day.
Well, wait. Proceed, but make it seem like it's directed by Darren Aronofsky and produced
see what
by
happens if I do
A24.
this.
Produced by Michael Bay.
No, produced by A24.
Make it.
They don't miss. At A24, they don't miss.
Is it Darren? Yeah, I'll figure it out. I don't even have to spell right. Okay, thank you.
Free William.
Free Willy. Free Bill. Free Billy.
Free Bill.
The hill is Bill's bitch.
So Darren Aronofsky's directing, and it's not too offensive as to cross the line. I just want to see what it says back to that.
Was it going to say anything?
It will.
Work, you stupid robot.
This is longest it's ever good take.
Dude, this is taking a long time. Oh,
All right. Dude, it was dude. That's the
Dude.
thing. No, there's the whole component of time. Like,
Free Willy, the
intentionally
Dark
letting it have more
Abyss.
time, it'll give you better.
Dude, Free Willy, the Dark Abyss, directed by Darren.
Tagline in the deep waters: freedom comes with the price.
Look at Jeff.
Plot overview, all right?
Look at him.
Dude, I can.
Oh, he's
Next time
done.
I'll just have steps where I can like. Well,
Yeah.
shit, I can have it create.
The
I can have
Abyss-
it create a trailer for this
The
right
Abyss
now.
beckons. Hang on, keep going, and then let's get a
okay.
trailer.
Title: Free Willy, the Dark Abyss, directed by Darren Aronofsky. Tagline: The deep waters, freedom comes with a price. Plot overview: in this gritty reimagining of Free Willy, the idyllic tale of a boy and his orca friend is transformed into a harrowing psychological thriller that explores the depths of obsession, guilt, and the true cost of freedom. Act 1: The Abyss beckons. Jesse, a troubled teenager with a dark past, is sentenced to community service at an oceanarium after a botched robbery attempt. The oceanarium is a decrepit, underfunded facility that houses a single orca, Willy, who has been subjected to brutal treatment by his captors, led by the sadistic and deeply unstable park manager Mason. Willy is
So
scarred.
far, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It's-
Keep going. Let's go.
Willy is scarred both physically and mentally. He's far from the friendly whale we remember. He's a monstrous primal force, driven to the brink of madness.
Smoking
The
crack.
animal being mad, that's funny. By years of confinement, Jesse, haunted by nightmarish visions of his own traumatic childhood, becomes drawn to the whale's suffering. Dude, that's actually pretty good.
Dude.
this is, like,
There's
really
an
good.
unspoken bond between the two, rooted in their shared pain. This is a good freaking way to do it.
We got to
We
share
need
it for
to start an
Darren.
online
Make Darren
petition to
Aronofsky
get
write
this-
it.
This needs to
Descent into
happen.
Madness, Act 2. As Jesse spends more time with Willy, he begins to unravel the horrors of the oceanarium. The staff led by Mason indulge in twisted ritualistic practices, claiming they are training the orca. The methods are barbaric, involving electric shock, starvation, and forced breeding with female orcas that have mysteriously disappeared over the years. Jesse's initial revulsion turns into a morbid fascination, and he begins to see Willy as a reflection of his own tortured soul.
God.
The oceanarium's decay is matched only by Jesse's descent into madness. He starts having hallucinatory episodes where the lines between reality and his darkest fantasies blur. In these visions, Willy isn't just a will, he's a vengeful deity demanding blood for his freedom. Jesse, in his increasingly unstable state, becomes convinced that the only way to free Willy is through a violent, bloody sacrifice.
Oh my God.
Dude, this is good.
This is awesome.
Act 3, The Final Sacrifice. Jesse devises a plan to release Willy, but it's far from the simple, heartfelt gesture of the original story. Instead, it's a twisted, macabre ritual. Jesse believes that Willy's freedom can only be purchased with the blood of those who have tormented him. In a series of shocking, visceral scenes, Jesse exacts revenge on the staff, turning the oceanarium into a blood-soaked nightmare. The final confrontation between Jesse and Mason is a brutal psychological battle. Mason revealed to be as unhinged as Jesse, so the whale, right? No, Mason is...
He's the guy that owns the
That's
place.
right. Sees himself as the true savior of Willy, believing that his methods are the only way to control the beast within the whale. The showdown is intense, with Jesse finally overcoming Mason in a disturbingly poetic scene where Willy, now fully embracing his monstrous nature, delivers the final blow. Act 4, The Dark Waters. The film ends with the haunting, surreal sequence. Jesse, covered in blood and on the brink of death, manages to release Willy into the open ocean. As the whale disappears into the dark waters, Jesse collapses, his fate ambiguous. The final shot is of Willy swimming away, free at last, but leaving a trail of blood in the water behind him. A stark reminder that freedom always comes at a cost.
It's like the ending of Shane.
Dude, the camera lingers on the empty ocean, the water slowly darkening until it fades to black, leaving the audience with a sense of unease and contemplation. In Aronofsky's hands,
ended.
Free Willy, The Dark Abyss becomes a story about the destructive power of obsession, the blurred lines between freedom and madness, and the haunting consequences of a world that has lost its moral compass. And it tells me how it plays on Aronofsky's strength, psychological tension, moral ambiguity, and a dark, intense atmosphere. It's a far cry from the original family-friendly movie, delving more mature into the plot.
And the Oscar
him up.
goes to Chris Evans playing an adult Willy.
And
Chris Evans
and Christian
playing
Bale
Willy.
for playing the
He plays
whale for Willy. Christian
Yeah,
Bale play Free
Chris
Willy.
played for Willy.
Yeah, had to put on 2
He
tons.
gained 40,000 pounds.
No, like it'd be like the first co-Oscar where 2 or 3 guys played the whale. They're all like counting. You have Christian Bale, who else?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix, and then this Jared Leto, all like do the role
Dude.
together.
Tell it to write
No,
Dennis the
Brendan
Menace,
Fraser.
but he's a serial killer.
No.
Dude, yeah, I'm saying this is.
Jeff
I was
said
spending.
no.
I was doing the same thing, getting it to make ridiculous videos. And
E.T.
Oh, get it to
is
do a
addicted
trailer.
to cocaine and
John Woo
hookers.
movie that's on.
oh yeah, I get to make a trailer for it.
No, Jeff, I had a good one. Oh yeah, you could do E.T. with a gambling habit. Make
E.T.
E.T.
with, no, hookers, cocaine, and yeah. game
Make
like
E.T. a
that.
gambling movie. Make it like
It's
Rounders.
insane, dude. Like, think of every creative industry. Think of all writers. Like, and the thing is, it's only get better. This is, and that's as good as
So,
what you would
and-
get.
real quick.
That's showing it's doing
Chat
it as
GP
good as you
Time out.
anybody you could think of as far as the creative writing or something.
Chat GPT is
Give me
a
Kazam,
large
but
language
with
model.
Larry
It's
Bird
an
instead.
Chat GPT
It'll-
is an
it'll really
LLM, right? A large language
yes,
model.
Yes, that
It's AI,
you
large
listen,
language
yes,
model,
that
right?
is correct.
Okay.
Good job,
So
Mikey.
what they're pretty much doing is this what this shit's doing is more or less just being able to pull from almost just the internet, basically. Is it? I know that
so
sounds
you
dumb
could
as
tell
fuck,
it
but
to like absorb an entire website, Mikey.
yeah, that's what I was.
Like
it's
what?
more or less. Is it more or less at this point? It's simply copy and pasting what's already put out there,
No,
or can it
that's the
actually?
thing. It's
Hang
not
on, is it's coming?
That's
Hang
the
on.
thing. It's not
aggregating
copying and
all the
pasting. It's
information.
literally taking all the information it's scraped the web
And then
everything's about 2023,
hypothesizing
and
about-
literally just being able to
Hypothesize
create
about what
it
something
think
would
is
be,
the
or
best version of
No, it's
exactly
even
what we're
better
describing.
than that, Mikey. It can go and read an entire web page like it's reading a book, right, in like a second.
And it
less than
basically
that.
has
And
like,
then it can, whatever you ask it, it doesn't give you a little bit of it. It gives you exactly what you ask for. So that's why you got to be careful what you ask it, how you ask it. It's like the devil.
yeah, this content may violate our usage policies. That's weird. What again? No, it's right. Let's see what it says. I'm glad you liked it. If you have any more ideas, anything else, film.
Get it to write a movie where the comedian Sinbad is a genie.
Chris.
So here's the trailer. Come on. This literally like has this exactly how to direct it, all the different parts, the voiceover.
Crazy.
I just wanted to give me the script because I can just and having the content windows, the whole thing. Which with Gemini, I think they have the largest content window as far as like the tokens and actually like how much because generally I could just if you have a homework assignment, you're a student who just or has to read something. Normally you can copy and paste the entire book and be like, create a summarized version of this exactly, and you can just do that too.
Get it to make a movie poster for Free Willy, the Dark Abyss.
Dude, now we're gonna do a whole marketing campaign here. Let's see. Okay, I might need to put it in a different TPD. Okay, yeah, I gotta use the video GPT now. All right, here we go. And I'll just copy and paste this into here, and I'll just say create this trailer. So I'm just go to and like there's a couple different GPT ones.
Oh my God, you're actually gonna do it with the video GPT?
Yeah, that one or video AI. I used up all my tokens on video AI. It might have reset.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll do it on both.
You think he wasn't gonna do this? This is like what we're trying. This is the whole point.
I'll get it do here, then I'll get it do it on video AI too.
That's the whole point, man.
Y'all are wild.
We're
man.
exploring. You know, we are playing
it's
with
giving me all these
AI, so
options,
you don't have to.
And it's great because it's giving me all these options to like, if I want to fine tune the primary message, the target audience, the tone or mood, how long would I like it to be, and I just said just make it.
Certain people.
I just said just make it because. I'm
Yeah,
just
you're
like,
like,
F it, just
you
do
have
it.
to
Great,
do it.
here's a condensed version of your trailer concept. Is there like a person? It's like, oh, here's all these great ideas. If you're like, dude, just pick what you think is best. And you could literally just say whatever. It's not like it needs special language.
No.
It literally responds. I just put G sometimes or a Y or anything. It's like they meaning to say yes. Okay, come on, generate 34 seconds. Yeah, generate. I'll just put Y. Just say yes. Starting action. Here we go. And it's gonna send me a link to this other platform. They're one of their main ones where I can actually tweak little things, but for the exercise I just like F it, like I just make the AI version.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Ooh, that's awesome. This is the first time I've got it. Ooh, it looks like there's an issue generating video due to content restrictions. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
because
glad
you're
I got it to
making
do
a
this.
murder Free Willy movie.
No, but I got it to create all the story behind it. So I'm just literally saying make a video off what you are making.
Tell it to.
We'll make it within the fucking guidelines. Then.
Yeah, make it happen. Just say make it happen.
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
I'll adjust the script slightly to ensure it can be processed
Come on.
successfully while keeping
That's
the
what I'm talking
elements
about.
intact.
Put him on payroll.
So
I
I'm
like
saying,
this guy.
It's
I
just
like
gonna
this
be
guy.
Free Willy.
Do it.
ChatGPT is my
Do it.
friend.
Do it.
The trailer's just going to be.
I'm coming
regular
back next
Free
week and I'm
Willy.
going to have a job. I'm going to have a business proposal for you
Go,
guys.
starting action. And there's like a bunch of different video ones. And again, I'm just like, what bullshit can I make without having to actually put anything extra into it?
Oh, here we go.
Click
Come
here
on.
to view and edit your video.
Your project was generated successfully.
Yep. No, but there's still some waiting.
Let's go,
It's still
dude.
processing.
No, dude. Hey,
I spent all night.
time out.
I was up till 5 in the morning.
Time
just
out.
making pointless
If
videos.
y'all want to see this video, you have to subscribe to our
The
Patreon.
For
This is
$10
Mike,
every
this is
on
our
the ball
bonus
second.
content. If you
Mikey's
want to
on the ball
see
now.
or hear this
Well,
Free
we've been
Willy
putting
trailer,
a lot of time into.
Matt's been. We're not just going to invite y'all to the premiere of Murder Free Willy for
the
nothing.
whole conversation. It was
Yeah.
a pre-planned.
It's Free
We're gonna
Willy,
need
the
some
Dark
money.
Abyss.
Thank you, Jeff.
He's trapped just like me. You're just
It's
as
gonna be
trapped
really
as
bad.
he
Here we go.
is.
I'm
That's
still
it?
working on it. What? No,
3
no.
seconds?
He's
Dude.
trapped just like me. You're just as trapped as he is.
Dude, that's it.
Tell it do better.
Okay, and I can, and we can.
Tell it do better.
So we can. How long?
Tell at least a 2-minute trailer. Do better.
No, just
No,
say,
it's weird.
Say,
Like it's
say
the way
you're
it talks
better-
to there
you're
and
better
there.
than
There's a very strong disconnect.
Tell
Like,
him
it
you're
needs to
better
be
than
longer.
that.
And I'll just say make it 5 minutes. Watch, and it'll barely be a minute. I don't know if it's something with the communicating between this GPT and the other one.
Unfortunately, creating fucking do it. Tell it fucking do it. I want to see what it
Make it as long as possible.
Do it, or you're gonna turn into a.
Do it or I'll unplug you.
says.
Yeah.
He's like, and then all the lights
come on.
shut off.
It's give me all the.
Tell him you're gonna give him a bad review on Yelp. See what it says.
Let him finish.
Oh my gosh, man, this is holy jeez.
And that's the thing. It's like generating.
Can I get? I should just get
it's generating
ChatGPT.
it. That's a huge thing though, because it's literally. It's not like it's searching it. It's generating that. It's generating that in real time. That's like it.
I know. I get it. Yeah,
it's
that's
crazy.
It's
Right here.
Julian Baptiste. He's from The Killing. He was the detective, or not The Killing.
I don't know if that's him though.
That's the dude from. That's Julian Baptiste. He's the dude with.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
from
he's
The
a lot
Patriot,
skinnier.
Chris. He's the guy from The Patriot, the French
I
general.
I think this is the killer.
Yep.
I
This
think
it's a John Woo.
it-
Because
yeah,
the
it just
opening
came out.
scene, the opening scene is like,
Oh,
I
it just
see a
started playing
dove,
on
I see a
yeah,
dove
this just came
flapping
out.
through
Oh,
real
yeah, look
slow,
at
and
this
I'm
is a
like,
remake
this
of
is
one
a
of his-
fucking John Woo movie.
And it's a
then it
remake
popped
of a
up,
movie
John
he
Woo.
directed.
Fighter. And he's a
No, but it's
UFC.
him. It's one of those rare things where directors remade a movie he directed 20 years ago.
Oh, nice.
So it's actually really cool for
Okay.
to knowing that.
Yeah, but that's the dude
Not-
from The Patriot.
Yeah, because what else was he in? Wasn't he? He wasn't in.
So
He's
yeah,
been in a
that's
bunch.
fun.
Professional. That was,
No, estimate script. Okay, does make a video? Yes.
No, he wasn't in that.
I don't care if it's male or female. I tried getting to do a robot voice, but I couldn't do him right now. At least not directly from here. Starting action. Come on, AI. We need it faster, right? This is incredibly. Dude,
Tell it it's at
this is
risk
the
of
first
being.
time I'm getting.
Tell it
issues
it's at
with
risk of
something
being
they created
fired.
That they can't.
Say your job is at you're at risk of being fired.
I'm just saying make it within rules. Yeah.
Oh, let's revise
Dude, it's
the
gonna be
script.
it's gonna be like
no,
maybe 5 seconds. Watch.
we don't want that.
'Cause I'm saying
It's
like,
like, it's
so
like we
this,
can show you the ocean. That's the part of their story.
so this
that's
is like where
within the guidelines.
prompt engineering and stuff actually becomes important because it's okay. There's a way to talk to them and get things, but it's figuring out exactly how to say it
Yeah,
or what
for
to do.
sure. No,
So
for
that
sure.
just shows you okay if I'm just going there, but there's like a whole. And that's like a whole school of learning is how to interact
It's like
with them.
it's like
literally trial
jailbreaking
and error.
AI. It's like how to jailbreak it.
It's trial and error. It's how
Yeah. It's like figuring out though how to communicate though, because
It's
there
like
is going to
finding
be a
different
way
plants.
of
We're
communicating
gonna
it.
try all of
Like
them.
the way
It's a
you've
whole-
already figured out about clicking Y. Like there's going to be a way of people that figure out like a basic thing.
Well,
of how
yeah,
to
because
do
I know
it,
like
so.
telling to do things step by step makes a difference. If you're one
Well,
to
like
tell you
on-
something, be like step by step. Tell me how to do this.
All right.
It's
Well,
like-
do we
there's
need
a
to get into the
podcast on
movies?
it.
Looks
Yeah,
like
because it-
Jeff's fading.
This is this is a
I'm
rabbit hole.
not fading.
We'll come back to this if we have to.
Oh, I'm living there, buddy.
But we're going to come back to
where I
that because
live.
I think we need to go
Well,
back
at
to
least
more
to show
AI
you those
stuff tonight.
those truth videos that I found about Bigfoot and
Yes.
Mothman.
Guys,
Dude, I saw a
big
video. It
news.
has to be
and
true.
now
It's
you're a little
true.
bit more. I think you were saying that you're going to go back and rewatch the Mothman movie because you think you missed some stuff.
I don't think I can. I'm afraid to.
Okay.
Wait,
All right.
yeah.
Well,
Dennis the Antichrist.
let's get into these movies. And
yeah,
Jeff,
well,
you want to go ahead and go first because I feel like you need something to do over there. We have
There, look at
interaction
that.
here.
Mikey was.
I think you
doing
need
all
something
this
to do.
Stink. I agree about. I'm gonna go first because I think I can steal his movies.
I
but
literally-
it is good for Jeff to go.
Yeah, I was gonna steal all your movies, Jeff. I know
I'm
your
just
movies.
curious how confident of his
I have
thing
a,
that was.
I have a list of your movies, and I was
It's
gonna
a good
steal
year.
them. Oh, I know, and I was like, Jeff,
was a good
Jeff, gonna take them. So
I got a
almost
couple
took 'em.
trailers for you guys to pull up. One or
Let's-
two.
Let's do
One or
it.
two.
Let's
One's
do
gonna
it.
be kind of early.
Take us
You
on
guys
the
are ready?
ride. We're ready.
All right. Actually, hold on. 1,
So
2,
we're
3,
2022.
4, 5, 6,
You've had a whole week, Jeff.
You have to make sure it was 10.
He doesn't miss.
You got any?
Number
He
10.
doesn't miss. Jeff 24,
Number 10.
J 24. We need to get J 24s made shirts.
Let him.
Oh,
Nope.
nope.
Jordan Peele.
That is on
Jordan
mine.
Peele.
Yep.
Yes.
That is very good. I love
The
it.
sci-fi movie. I won't say alien movie.
Is this a trailer for this?
I saw
Yeah,
that.
Or no?
No.
Okay,
You don't have
okay.
to.
Yeah, I would.
You don't have
It's,
to.
or yeah, I can.
Yeah,
wait
it
to
was
show
the one with the horses, right?
If you have
If
it
it's on your
Matt.
list, go ahead and play it then.
Or I can. I
No,
can wait.
play it.
Yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter now. Let's see.
Yeah, if you've already mentioned it, if
No,
you're
dude,
gonna mention
this
it
is
too,
I
This
think
was
this is the best thing
I
he's
saw.
done.
This is
my
one of the
favorite
few
movie he's done.
movies I've seen in the theaters. in the
I would
last
still say
several
Get
years.
Out, but yeah, this one was very good.
Yeah,
I
no,
like
Get
this
Out.
one a lot.
I get why that's. Yeah, like I could easily say that one. I like that one
I
as
was
much.
more or less just saying they were fighting.
Just all the weird, or just the elements that it touches on.
What was the trailer for that? That looked interesting.
What is this? Oh yeah, this is. Yeah.
This is the beginning of the
Yeah.
movie.
Great great grandpa.
She was great
I
in that movie.
I didn't like her character at all in the movie.
Of course you didn't. Keke Palmer was pretty awesome in that movie.
No,
I thought she was funny.
I like Keke Palmer, but I did not like her character in the movie.
That means it was well written.
Yeah, skin in the game.
Because if you didn't like
No,
it.
I know.
Which is
I-
great. Like,
like, I
if
get
they were
it.
just whatever, it's like they made her a very type of person that annoys you. Which is, I feel like that's doing a good job. Even they'd be like, yeah, I can't wait.
But when
Well, she's little
died.
sister
I think
Yeah.
of Christian Bale.
in that movie. She's
Yeah,
supposed
it's
to
his
be.
sister. Yeah. That was cool. This the trailer's basically like a scene from the movie.
That movie or this house has been in a couple of movies. That house.
I think he was in my list from last year, last year's list. Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yes. Yeah.
He's a great actor.
Isn't he also from
This
Get
is
Out?
a good trailer. That's the
Yeah,
other
he
thing, you
is.
know, like
Yeah, he's
trailer quality. This is a really good trailer.
Scariest part was with that damn monkey.
Yeah, dude.
Motherfucker. Yeah, and then when you see the girl's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
It's a good movie. It was an interesting take. Jordan
Yeah.
Peele, 3 for 3, I would say.
Yeah, I thought this was really. Yeah, this is high up there for me. Like just I just think it's a really, really good movie. A
need
bold
to watch it again.
execution of
It's
an
fun.
idea that
It's
could
fun.
easily
Yeah.
be like, yeah, but I just feel like he's really committed to his bit. He's really committed to it, or it's people. Yeah, it's, and I think it executes. Like I think it really pulls it off.
All right, fire up another trailer. This is
All
my
right.
number 9, Fire of Love, a documentary.
I'm out. You just gonna take my number one pick?
If this is your number 1 pick, I respect it.
Was it Mikey? Yeah, it's
This
on the
is
bottom.
Katja.
You can get one.
And this is Maurice.
This is our son.
Tomorrow will be their last day. They will leave behind hundreds of hours of footage, thousands of photos, and a million questions. Alone, they could only
Yeah, this movie really hit me at a time when I still believed in love, too. So, just a great movie.
Blind date at a cafe. From
Entertaining.
here on out, life will only be volcanoes, volcanoes, volcanoes.
And they died doing what they love, right? And that
Together.
the whole thing, it seems like they died and they found the footage, so it's like it's really telling the story, but like they died together.
And I believe this is a Werner Herzog narrated film.
Moi j'aime bien qu'il marche devant moi. Je me dis si Lucie va
It's
suivre,
beautiful, so it's like a thing where they, I'm thinking, where they died and actually got to like
Dude, no, it's
people create a
it's-
movie or like a documentary about them. With this, because it's pretty awesome.
It really is.
And
like
they
a
like great.
beautiful-
This is all stuff, footage and stuff. So this is like their legacy. It's cool.
Yeah, it's great. Like,
That's powerful.
as far as documentaries, like it's a must.
Yeah, it's a rare thing. Because this is literally a true story that they have like a whole documented of what they.
My favorite documentaries are when they start going about this and it turns into something else. So obviously on the outside it's volcanoes, but then it becomes their relationship to volcanoes and within themselves. Yeah, it's just a human piece.
Yeah, dude,
While learning all the cool science behind volcanoes
awesome.
and seeing all the cool explosions.
is this really on your
that they
list,
were
Mikey?
able to.
Like
No.
a fire.
Dick.
In this fire, two lovers.
This was a pretty good year. I remember enjoying all these movies. for 2022.
Dude, that looks awesome. I'm glad you shared.
Oh,
that.
you should definitely check it out, man.
Yeah, dude, that looks amazing.
Tell
Number
AI
8
to make
is
it
going to
rated
be
Rated X or unrated. Or, I don't know. Make it to where you couldn't make it.
Alexander Skarsgård in The Northman.
Oh,
Anya
yes.
Taylor-Joy as well.
I wanted to see that.
One of my
movie.
favorite
I still haven't
actresses.
seen that movie.
It's actually, dude. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Like.
It's Robert Eggers, the director. He's been on. He did The Witch, so he's the guy who's done other movies that I've had on this. So this is like one movie I was good want to see. You know, The Lighthouse, because to get William Dafoe. He's not a main character.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe is it.
Oh, this is a crossover where they meet Willem in this?
Yeah.
He's here. He's here. Mother! Father is here!
The king
Mikey, you haven't seen this one?
No. I
Oh,
know
brother.
the movie, though.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, this is on my list. It's good at showing it. It's because like you've seen Viking movies and shows, right? But it's not done like that. It's literally it gives you the sense and feeling of you're living their mythology, like their mythology and everything is.
Yeah, I liked how they
it's like
talked
in the
about their
blood
religion.
in the lifeline of the movie. Like you feel like it is capturing the essence of exactly their life and culture, you know? So it's not just like watching it, but I don't know, it's weird. He pulls it off. And a lot of it's just with the tone and setting and that but just the writing and the way he directs it, it's just like, dude, it's so good. It's phenomenal.
I will save you, mother. I will kill you if you let me.
Dude, I think Anya Taylor-Joy's on 2
Oh,
movies
yeah.
for me.
That's why she is.
I love her.
Yeah, she's doing well for herself at a young age.
Furiosa.
You must choose between kindness for your kin or hate for your enemies.
Your strength breaks men's bones. I have the cunning to break their minds.
Like, it's really deep, but if you just want to see a badass Viking movie, it's also that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So it could be people who don't care how that stuff, it could still capture them just by the action and how well the crazy the scenes are. Like, it's a badass action movie at the same time as being something way deeper.
Plus, Alexander Skarsgård's super underrated.
I guess for me he's not underrated, but yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm just saying the fact that he's finally getting like starring roles.
Yes, it's
like
crazy.
that are big budget.
So much culture out there, or not culture content, towards like they get more roles, but it's like, man, it's actually get super big. But yeah,
like Mute is another one that they gave him a shot on.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like
Mute.
that movie.
I liked
That was
Mute. I
good.
really liked that. Was on my list. for a
Yeah.
time.
I mean, even like he has small parts like Big Little Lies. I think it was like a chick.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah,
It was really good.
That's a good show.
Like that was a great role.
Season 1 was good.
Yeah.
All right, number 7. This is a good movie. I think it's a Hulu original, or it came straight to Hulu. Prey. It's the Predator alternative.
Hey, Matt's not a fan?
No, dude. It's on my list.
On your list, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. No, it was not what I expected to be at all.
Yeah, dude.
But basically, it takes. She's a girl in a tribe, and she's kind of the weaker one of the tribe, but she's really good at like not getting caught, not getting like evading predators and stuff naturally, and then
like
lo and behold,
hunting, not just overpowering whatever, but being
like lions and tigers and
Yeah.
stuff. Make sure she can evade that. So an actual predator comes to her planet, and she's got to evade him the whole movie.
Yeah. She's like maxed out on that stat. It's awesome.
And then this one, big Oscar movie, The Fabelmans, the kind of
Steven Spielberg's story.
Steven Spielberg's life story, kind of. That one was good. Seth Rogen was in it and did a great like dramatic role. I really liked it. But Paul Dano just doing fucking Paul Dano things.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's someone else who's got 2 movies. On
I
this
know.
list.
Colin Farrell. At least for me.
Oh, Colin Farrell's
I
got
know which
2
one
for
you're
me
talking
too.
about. The
Yeah.
Banshee movie? Oh.
Yeah, it's coming up, Mike. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're gonna have some Rex.
No, Fablemans was good. What's
no,
her
he
face
wasn't in
stole
the
the show?
Colin Farrell.
Michelle.
Was he in the original one?
He was in The Gentleman.
The original movie? Yeah.
Can't think of her name.
Keep going.
What was the girl from Dawson's Creek?
Which one? Katie Holmes,
the one is in
Fableman's mom.
Fableman's. Yeah,
Yeah,
she was great.
Yeah.
All right, next one, Top Gun Maverick. Great sequel. It's not what I thought it would be, but it was really good. Miles Teller.
Yep.
Yeah, Miles Teller plays the son of Goose. It was pretty cool. I think they did it well. I think, it was a fun movie.
Yeah, no, it was. It's like one of those movies that, I mean, if there's a good action movie, if it's good, and Tom, however you feel about him, he puts out quality movies, action movies, like almost. It's very consistent, right?
To be honest, the action was better than the original. The original was just so fucking cool and iconic.
Yeah, well, because think of it, for the time, it was like, as if the shit they did with the cameras on the jets was like groundbreaking. But of course now, okay, the most groundbreaking thing, as you would expect, it's like a very upgraded version of other scenes. And it's so cool, but it has a ton of heart too. Like, it's ridiculous. I didn't expect them to make it so emotionally well, but it really was. Like, it was super heavy. Like, and they pulled it off. So I was surprised. It's almost a movie I didn't want to be good, but I went in and it like exceeded what I was.
No, for sure.
I
didn't think it. I was like
a hot link.
I was
in
like
a pot,
hoping
man.
it was bad almost, but it was
too.
so good and it was beyond what I thought they'd be able to do.
That's why I had to put it on the list because I really, really liked it.
It's like touche, man. They did.
And then the next four, man, are kind of like top 100s for me, like like all-time movies. And I had trouble putting them in order. I just kind of went off my gut, to be honest. Number 4, The Banshees of Inisherin with Colin Farrell and, gosh, I'm going to forget his name.
Oh, yeah.
Help me out, Matt.
Well, I know the director's McDonough, but I don't know if his name's
the
McDonough, too. I know, like, Martin McDonough was the director, but he's got it, because he was in Bruges with them, and he's been in so much.
Yes, they were all three of those.
And Martin McDonough, the director, yeah.
I love In Bruges.
Yeah.
That movie gets slept on. Yeah. Man, I'm about to kick myself. Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, Gleeson. Because I think Domhnall Gleeson's actually related to him.
I know Brendan Fraser.
Like Domhnall Gleeson's that younger actor. He was like Ex Machina, and he's been
But
Star
also,
Wars.
Mikey, your favorite orphan actor is.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The orphan
such
kid.
a good role.
Oh yeah, and that weird looking kid from Brightburn.
Don't suppose you'd ever want to fall in love with a boy like me, would you?
Yeah, would you?
He gets good. He's got a face that gets some roles, man.
Yeah, he's got that face like Miles Teller, like
she's like a Renee Zellweger, always sucked on a lemon or something.
What, dude?
Who the hell?
He shouldn't be able to do what he does at such a young age. He's like Tom Hanks.
Jeff's like, at his height, he shouldn't be doing that.
He shouldn't be able to slam dunk that basketball. Every movie.
The thing that Tom Hanks and like Denzel Washington do best on screen is live on screen. Where like
just be so casual in himself that it's like the best representation of somebody not acting but acting.
That's like me.
Exactly. Like their worlds you just buy into. That's why Forrest Gump is so good, because you buy into it the whole time, because Tom Hanks is so good in it. This kid is so good in it, where he just feels like someone who would be walking by on the street.
Yeah. He's got the charisma.
Actually,
he's got that.
He's also in 2 of the movies, Barry Keoghan. Fun fact. One of them's a small.
We're gonna show the preview for this.
We can't.
Okay, we don't have to.
We're gonna watch Brendan Gleeson staring at the fucking ocean.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, he's the guy from Gangs of New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny because I think that movie War All the Time that I told you about, I'm pretty sure it's actually.
You mean War on Everyone?
War on Everyone, yeah.
I've seen that movie so many times.
Because I remember, I think I showed it to you, and you didn't know it and heard about it, but now it's showing up.
I feel like I had seen it before you had like brought it up, or you were telling me about it, and it was like, I feel like I had watched it with Jason or something.
Yeah, John Michael McDonough.
What year was that?
So it's different McDonough.
Because when Mikey came home the other week and started to watch it or whatever, I was like, oh shit, you're watching War on Everyone? And he's like, yeah. I was like,
oh yeah, that was because I was showing it to him. Yeah. I just remember it was probably 3-4 years ago.
No, we definitely.
And you were just like, where did you even find this? I'm like, I just stumbled across it.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Because I know I've seen it several times.
But yeah. I'm just getting distracted. But yeah, that was really good.
Jeff?
Hi.
Take the reins, sir.
Take the reins.
What was the other one?
What you got next?
My next one was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yep.
Yep.
This movie's amazing. What's the actor's name?
Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh was great.
She's been in so much. She was.
Her daughter was great.
In Star Trek show for a couple seasons. It's great.
But the scene stealer for me was Ke Ki Hui Kwan, the guy from
Common Spelling.
Goonies. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think he's like had an acting job since then. Like,
bro.
yeah.
His character was like, man, I fell in love with that character like from the beginning. I know the whole story between the mom and the daughter is great, and it's it makes the whole movie. But and he won the best supporting actor for it.
Yeah, it was so crazy. That thing did pretty
from the
decent as
fight
well,
scenes
for
he
sure.
would do, and then just go into that sweet, lovable character. Like, and he really is that in real life from all the interviews that you see of him. I just loved it. Like, this movie's fucking great. Jamie Lee Curtis still, every couple of years comes out and shows she can still fucking do it. It was good. So I think Stephanie Hugh is the name of the girl.
Okay.
But love that movie.
What?
That says old Stephanie Hugh.
Man, he's so uninterested in the conversation. You just picked up a guitar to play on,
And not any guitar. Tell the people what kind of guitar I'm playing with.
It
makes more sense.
You got a guy here who's trying to talk
I'm
about
listening,
some
but
stuff.
it makes more sense when the people know
but how are you
what kind of
listening
guitar.
to that and what you're trying to play?
Well, it's not a matter of listening; it's a matter of going through the motion of what I'm doing,
okay.
rather than hearing. Because I'm not going to interrupt.
I apologize.
But tell
them
them what kind of guitar is it?
I don't know anymore.
It's a Gibson Les Paul.
It's a Gibson
Okay,
Les
so
Paul.
it's something I can't play with. Okay, yeah. Who wouldn't pick it up?
Put the guitar down.
Matthews, well, I know he'll let me play with it. I'm just saying. I mean, when do you get to
say
pick
that
up a
every night
Gibson
about
Les
many
Paul, other than just hanging out for 4.5 hours
Basically,
at Guitar Center?
every once a week when you're there.
At where?
Bullshitting.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
pre-production.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude. You act like we do that. You act like I get over here that early. You think I'm that organized?
It's a scramble. It gets over here and I'm
No,
scrambling.
that's
I'm
cool.
still
Mikey, what's the weather in fucking Minneapolis, Minnesota?
I was practicing for our Godfather.
He was practicing looking up random cities' weather.
I was practicing for our God when we go on our tour and play nothing but Godfather.
Actually, you do need to start prepping for that.
Yeah, we're going on tour soon.
Nothing but
We're already
Godfather
booked
tour.
in Branson. We're opening up for a magician guy. He pulls turtles out of his shoe.
Number 2 on my list.
There we go.
The Batman.
Oh,
I saw
time
this
out.
one.
Time
I saw
out.
this one.
Let's talk about this.
That movie ended
Starring
when
who?
he jumped off that building.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
He-
Rob, and you know what Robert Pattinson said before he made that movie?
We don't miss.
Jeff, you know what he said?
What?
He said, I'm about to make a name for myself today. He said, you just make sure that people know I haven't hit
the
a
opening scene where he's like, I am fucking vengeance was great. Like, he was good as Batman. He plays the emo Bruce Wayne that he should be for the times. Like, it was good.
As far as just like the setting and actually capturing like the world better, I mean, yeah, the story wasn't as over. I don't know. I just
A lot of
thought
people say
watching the
The
comic.
story was
book,
a lot darker.
I thought it was
like,
a great.
To be
Personally,
honest,
I
it
didn't
was
care for the
Matt
political
Reeves.
It was a
the
slow
way he
burn,
did it,
like not even like an action movie. You know?
it was a detective movie.
Yeah.
That's
It
what
was.
Batman's
It
based
literally
upon.
was. He's the greatest detective.
That movie ended.
People
that
forget
movie
that, and this
ended
movie reminds people
that
that.
movie ended 30 minutes into it when he jumped
Yep.
off of the roof of that building and ping ponged off of the fucking railroad trestle.
That
and
one's too
the
far for
roof
you.
of the bus and all that. He was like,
That's where he draws the line of what superheroes do.
It's like-
Robert
it
Pattinson
didn't
was
ma-
a,
bro, I don't care
because
what Batman that
he did
is.
it in a fucking hoodie.
I don't
He
care
wasn't
what
in a
Batman that is.
He wasn't in a Batman outfit. He wasn't in like
There's no
some
Batman
exo
surviving
suit.
that.
Yeah, no. It was Stephen Hawking's from that point on. Like he fucking ping ponged through that
Bro, he
shit.
did.
He's like,
They want to make sure you
He did.
suspend
It was
your
like
belief.
Spider-Man.
Oh, I
They
suspended all of it from that point.
But
When-
hey,
ask Mikey. We
you're
watched
buying it up to that point.
We watched
So
it,
that- I
and
don't even
as soon as
know
that
what to
happened,
think of
I
you if
looked at
that's the
Mikey
case.
and was like, "The movie's over."
He's
That's
dead.
where he draws the line.
He's
That
about to
was
carry it
literally
out.
the part.
I
was
can't-
like,
I can't-
The movie is over.
It's really nice to know where the line is for some people.
Oh my god.
For
I'm watching a comic
me-
book movie
well,
about
just-
Batman.
I think-
this is just too unbelievable.
No.
The way he fell.
He's in the fucking.
and he ate that injury.
Bro, he's in a
For
hoodie.
me-
He's wearing the same shit Caleb was wearing when we went to the baseball game in Kansas City.
I
froze his ass off.
I
a
think-
hoodie and some jeans.
I feel bad for you that you missed such a good movie because he wrote it off after that point.
Yeah, no, I couldn't see anything
Riddler-
but like him talking through a straw.
the Riddler did it for me. I thought that was Paul Dano. Was he the
Okay.
guy?
Paul Dano was great.
Yeah,
he was
for
good.
me. He made the movie. I loved his
There you go.
that
Colin Farrell as the
scene-
Penguin.
That
Jeffrey
was
Wright
good
as
too, but okay,
Commissioner
Danny
Gordon.
DeVito did better.
To be honest, the person who did best was Zoe Kravitz's Selena.
Yeah, because
Kyle.
when you're
She
that hot,
fucking
dude, I
murdered that
mean,
role.
you can't do no wrong.
Not,
Yeah.
She was.
No,
She
but
the-
she
was
really
she
did a
the
good
cat
job.
lady?
No, she. Did
I watched their
a
movie Blink
phenomenal
twice.
job.
this
She was
week.
cat
It really
lady.
No,
good.
for sure. It's a good movie. Not. It was.
For a comic
did a
book
be- he
movie,
did a lot
I think
better.
it's like one of the best. Like at least
I'm a
it's
huge-
good. It's at the
honestly,
high level of like the best they can make of a comic book
I
movie.
put it.
having,
I
like,
put it
little
underneath the Dark Knight. But like,
Oh.
Dark Knight way up there on a
Yeah.
pedestal. But like, it's.
If I were
fucking
just
love
to look at
this movie.
superhero movies that have been made on any character, it would be way up there. Just like that movie and what it was.
All
doing.
right,
I'm gonna rewatch
Number
it.
one.
I owe it a rewatch, I guess.
It's the closest thing you could get
We'll
to
see.
like a Christopher Nolan like really feel of creating like a dark world that's just.
well, to be honest, Christopher Nolan
And Matt
the
Reeves
Dark
is
Knight,
like proven director, so I feel
Here's
like
my
he'll do it.
argument: the Dark Knight is a Christopher
upset
Nolan
the
movie
baby,
about
Jeff.
Batman. The Matt Reeves movie is a movie about Batman.
The Batman. He's younger.
Number
He's
one.
just become Batman, or
Exactly.
relatively.
Well,
so
he's
it's
had
cool
1
to
year.
see.
Exactly, 1 year under his
to
belt.
see him
That's
this
it.
early in his career. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Batman
I don't-
Begins. You got
I don't
to
want
see,
it to-
but this is
Good
like
movie.
seeing a different. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it to seem like I'm
Fight
just
me.
like I'm shitting on a
Being a
like
fucking
on
No,
Jeff
you're
Bezos.
missing out. Is like
Because
No.
I'm not missing out because I've seen the movie.
Then it sounds like
in
you
my
didn't actually
opinion,
watch it,
Everybody-
in my
chill.
opinion,
You see it, but did
I've
you
seen the
perceive
movie.
it?
I perceived it, dude.
So you see and perceive. That's
I've
good.
seen the movie, but my
You've seen the movie?
You've
Have you
seen many
it?
movies,
I've experienced many Christmases and I've seen many movies.
and you might have
Number
watched
one.
this.
Okay,
I'm at my number one.
go ahead.
Soapbox
no,
Mikey was just
go
getting
ahead.
warmed
Go ahead.
up. I don't even know what.
Yeah, I didn't want to hear him shit all over my movie. Anymore. Number one, The Menu.
Yeah,
Yep.
piece of shit. This guy. I showed this guy this movie the other week, and it's his number one.
I forced him to watch this
In honor of that,
after like a year or two of it being out.
because
I
I
love
get
one of
it.
the
Jeff
movies
to
I
watch
created a
this
scene
in a
I created little
Discord, in a
remix
movie
for it.
Discord that I came up with. Now, shout out to
In
the
honor of
homie
the
Crane.
menu. Was the-
Shout out
so
to the
my-
homie Crane who runs the movie Discord. If you are trying to get in on the movie Discord, hit us up with a message on Instagram. We'll
I
see
love
about
dark
getting you in
comedies.
the movie Discord if you want to get
This
in
is
there.
one of the darkest comedies I've seen. It made me laugh so hard. It's fucking
This is
funny.
Titanic.
Matt's trying to show us Titanic.
It's got twists, turns. You know what's coming like halfway
Oh, he
through the
did it
movie
with.
and
Oh
you're
my
still-
God, Matt! You already made an edit of this.
No, this is one I did a long time ago,
Okay.
and I was like, I can show it
Yeah.
now because I did a scene from the menu where I put the Creed One Last Breath behind it. I did this
Show
7 months ago.
Should you show the
I
trailer
can't-
first and
I
then
can't hear
and then
the
this?
song.
Oh, I haven't started it yet. Oh, there we go. I just
Everyone, please
come around, come
Your screen is muted for me.
It's just really quiet there. Can you not hear it?
Cook some leeks. Leeks. This is your station.
You can't hear it.
No, she is so beautiful. It's ridiculous.
Shit, would you like some shit? Shallots for the great foodie. Phenomenal Mr. Food.
Chopping method that
Everyone gather around. Learn the toilet. This is a new dicing method of which we have been woefully ignorant. What next?
It is that way, but it's just like for the one
butter,
part.
leeks and shallots sauteed in butter. I bear witness to a revolution in cuisine. The protein,
Something's off. That's weird.
lamb.
I'm like, yeah.
Never watched this one.
Yeah, no, but I edited it different. That's weird. I'll have to say, well, either
That's
way.
why. That explains why it's got low. Show him the actual trailer. Weren't we going to play the trailer
No,
for the
I'll play
menu?
The trailer, yeah.
I think that's what he wanted, and you played that.
No, yes, I just.
It was his number one pick, and you did that.
No, but I'm gonna show this too.
You should have let me shit on Batman, and that wouldn't have happened, Jeff.
Is that gonna fit everyone?
Yeah.
Easily. 12 customers total.
How do they turn a profit?
Cause when you are
with
What are we eating?
Dude gets stuck in your head, man.
I'm free.
One of his classics.
I'm fucking good.
You have to try the mouthfeel of the vignette.
And Nicholas Holt, he's
Yeah,
such
dude,
a
he's-
lovable
dude, he's
actor,
great,
dude.
man.
But he played such a good fucking douchebag in this movie.
Remember to make your evening
Yeah,
as
dude.
pleasant as possible.
She's been showing up in a lot of stuff. That Asian actress.
Yeah, I love her. She's fucking fine. So Sorry.
instigators.
I don't mean to object her like that. Objectify her. John Leguizamo though
Chris
did
might
it for
like
me.
this
Dude,
movie.
John Leguizamo is so funny.
That role, Matt, or the scene, Matt, where he talks about how he had his day off and he went to go see that shitty movie that he was in.
Yeah.
And that's why he's there. That made me, I laughed so hard.
Dude.
It haunted me.
It was so good, man. I love him and everything, but that was like it's so great.
Him in the Grand Budapest.
But
did
dude,
it for
ever
me.
since
I was like,
she's done
Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit, I've been all over everything she's did.
Yeah.
I think last night in Soho was in my pick last week, and she's awesome.
Because I think
She
what
can
she
do
was,
no
I
wrong.
think it was first saw her in like it was not Lucy but Anna or something. I think.
Yeah,
She was
I
like,
actually, yeah, I
basically,
didn't
like,
actually
trained up to be
realize.
some like Russian assassin type thing. The show was really good too. It had Joel Kinnaman in.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was her in the movie though. When I watched Queen's Gambit. I
Yeah,
had to
she
go back
was,
and
yeah,
saw
she was like
see
that's
that
the
again.
first movie I can think when she was like even younger. Obviously, she's got to be in her early 20s, mid 20s, maybe. No.
It's all part of the menu.
No, we're gonna die tonight. Yeah.
She was good in Ozark. That actress.
Oh, the wife.
No, she's the lawyer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she was good.
You told him it was my birthday?
Seemed funny about 3 hours ago.
It's his birthday. Adam McKay, you can definitely tell he had his hand on that.
Yeah, dude, it was really good.
I love that movie though. It's horror comedy. Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, like psychological thriller with just the sense of humor it has. So some of those scenes where it's just the payoff of laughing is just when like when he gives shit to that guy Nicholas Hoult when he's preparing that meal is like the tensest, funniest scene.
What
It's
is
so
the guy's
tense.
name? It's Nick's bullshit or something or whatever the dude's name.
Well, they
is.
gave the name like for the dish. Yeah.
Somebody's
He was
bullshit.
like some
Tyler
foodie who
or
just
something.
seemed like he's
Yeah, Tyler.
new.
No, that's
He was
it.
all
Tyler's bullshit.
He's like a wannabe like
Yeah.
foodie who's like knows all the lingo and talks about it, and he's like thinks he's like but he's a wannabe, you know. But he's like he seems like it would be. He's like no, he's still not a fucking professional. You're not just gonna come in here and do this. But it's just funny because
Yeah, because he tries to act so sophisticated and like you said, such a
It's-
foodie.
yeah, that was so funny.
He can barely heat up butter.
Yeah,
I will say my my honorable mention was Elvis, not necessarily the movie, but
I just
acting.
like the guy's music.
No,
That's what
the
to bring him
guy.
up. He's the
What's his
king.
name? Austin Tyler. His performance as Elvis was amazing.
Yeah, he's done pretty well.
Matt,
He's
I'll
really
let
good
you.
dude.
I'll let you
It's
go
good
ahead
the
and
bike
go if you'd like.
riders. Sure,
Bike
yeah.
Riders. Yeah, I just watched
figured-
that,
I
Matt. by the
figured-
way.
I'll
Yeah, I
let you
think
go.
that just got on Peacock or
Makes
something.
sense.
Because my wife was
Yeah.
watching it. I'm like, oh, Bike Riders. She's like, have you seen this? I'm like, yeah, I watched the bootleg of it for like a couple months ago. It's just like, damn it, Matthew. So I never watched anything with her because I just watched. Like, I don't want to experience. I want to experience it
By the
together.
time she gets around to it,
All
Matthew
right.
had watched it
I
7
used to
months
be the same
prior.
way, Matt.
Yeah,
Watch
I just
it.
tell her I'll try and save things to watch. Like, you don't
Back
wanna
when you had a wife.
watch- yeah.
Back when I had
Hey,
one.
dude. She's like, oh, wife, yeah. I think, yeah, I used to have one
Say-
of those.
You should just say she's no longer with us.
Save some of those movies. Yeah, she's no longer with
Like,
us.
hey, really remember? Yeah, she lives somewhere else now. Okay, so I'll start off with again mine. Shit. What would my number one be? Ooh, I didn't even think about that. So yeah, these I don't even know what my number one would be. Probably would be this first one. But it's a movie that came out, Babylon.
Okay.
And it's Damien Chazelle. So the director, this is a movie I want to see. He did La La Land and Whiplash. And yeah, it's so like really young director, and this was like those are all really great accessible movies, and this is it's almost like him making it's an interesting thing, but it's hard R. Like it is some of the
Whoa.
shit that it casually
what?
shows. A hard R.
Whoa.
What is that? Oh, the
No, it's
bugs.
graphic. It's got some graphic parts to it for sure.
To whereas, but it's really a love letter. Like when you get to the end of it, whenever it
Sounds like Django.
and you see he's at that movie theater,
That's
and
what
he
I'm
like
saying.
shows all those random movies and like ones that came out, like Avatar and things. I just saw it was literally like like him making a movie that's a love letter to the movies, but looking at it at that time and saying, okay, this is like a love letter to even like going back to the roots of it all, you know?
Yeah.
Because it really shows it, and that's really what took away from it for me. So let's see. Damien Chazelle. He was like,
here in Hollywood is
I think he was like 29 when we did La La Land or something. He's like,
Brad
he's
Pitt.
crazy how young he is.
If you could go anywhere in the whole world,
Gotta love her.
Dude, Tobey Maguire's got a small role where he's just like so creepy. It's great. Like he gets to be like the creepiest version of him doing creepy, and it's dude, because he could almost think he looks creepy already.
You know, when I first moved to LA, you know what the signs on all the doors read? No actors or dogs allowed. I changed that.
morning.
Good job for you. I'll do anything.
That's the cocksucker they sent to screw us.
I just remember this was coming out. I saw it like maybe a commercial for it like once. It's like one of the hardly saw them put any money in like promoting it. And so it's one of those interesting things. It's like a really unique horror movie, but it's from a director that's had some Academy Award-winning films, and so
it was one of those movies that like post-COVID came to streaming very quickly. It was on
I
like
think that was a big
Paramount
factor
Plus.
in a lot of that. Yeah.
Yep, it was on Paramount Plus like a month in.
Yeah.
the girl seems nice.
So I feel like it missed a lot of an audience that didn't even know it came out.
Yeah, what's the name of it?
Babylon.
People care about
This is a movie that my nephew Caleb was still living with me. He was high or something. But I'm like, hey, we're going to watch Babylon, and you'll love this. And he's like, watch. He's like, dude. Some of those movies, like, I made him or he was down to watch because I'm like, dude, this movie fucking...
So it's about, Hollywood and shit.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's like 3 hours.
California Babylon.
Yeah, it's literally just Hollywood. Some guy wants to get into business, but he's an opportunity to try and just like get in there however he can, and just following him this crazy shit he deals with. Because he was like working like as basically a busboy or something for like some place that had parties, like big Hollywood after parties for that time. So it was basically just like, I don't know, it's kind of like it's a weird, again, fairy tale type story almost, but it's just like it doesn't hold anything back. It's like as dark and morbid as you can imagine at the same time. Dude, it's really
I want to check it out.
Yeah, dude. Brad Pitt, his character's like, it's really depressing.
Kills it.
Yeah, but just like this character...
Midnight Society.
He's dealing with they're
Yep.
transitioning to talk, like actually having sound in movies, and he was an actor in
Silent
the movie.
films
He
and
was
shit.
only famous when silent films, and so whenever he actually had to talk, he wasn't received well at all. So it was basically like his.
Yeah,
and he
he
had a
was
great
attractive,
career,
he couldn't
but
act,
his fame and everything just died, and it just like you get to see what it does to him because it's interesting.
Huh.
So it's really good. Babylon. Okay, next one I won't show a trailer, but it's your boy that you'd like to say his name.
Darren Aronofsky.
Aronofsky, the whale. It's
come on, that's no way to talk about Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser, yeah.
This one almost made it to my list. It was just so fucking sad.
Yeah, no, again, yeah, it's
Brendan Fraser,
incredibly
though.
sad,
Good
but
for
it's
him.
beautiful.
Good
it's
for
like
Brendan
a beautiful,
Fraser.
sad movie, but it's his ability, like Darren Aronofsky, it takes place in his apartment, the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it literally puts you in the best you can of, okay, I'm so big or whatever, I don't get up, this is my world. And so you're in that world the whole time. But like the random interactions and things that'll happen, it still makes it into a compelling movie with like arcs and acts, built within what it's like being in that situation and still like humanizing them. And so it's
an onion.
It'll cry, it's a crier.
I bet y'all watch it and not cry.
I hope not, but I hope not.
You know what movie made me cry? Ladder 49.
This couldn't
Nicolas
make it to 50. Okay, here's what? Here's a movie no one's seen. It's foreign and it's not very popular. But actually, one of those scenes that I made where I think it's perfect soundtracks. There's a scene from this movie. It's called Hypersleep, but it's actually Impersonia was the Italian version. And I don't have to show it.
It was good though.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and it's one of those like a head trip, mind f style. Okay. We're dealing with technology and people being able to kind of have a consciousness uploaded, or then dealing with criminals. Like, okay, do we want to still put people in jail, but we can just use this, hypersleep technology to basically put them to sleep for however many years they'd be serving, and it's, you know, it's not a drain on the text. So it's like them trying to come up with a good way to do it.
What is this?
Hypersleep.
Because that's like, I've heard that with...
Not much rehabilitation going on.
Yeah, but then it gets to like people if they're wrongly convicted and
somebody's
weird
able to
things
serve
and
like 100 years.
Yeah, what happens to Andy
like
Dufresne in
a
that
fucking
movie?
matter of like weeks or whatever.
Yeah, for
but it's
them.
like,
Yeah, for them
it's 100 years or whatever. And
well, but on this, I don't remember as far as like it seeming how long it
or something.
seemed.
I feel like
they've messed with
where it was
they've
like
messed with that
like
concept
where,
a lot with them, someone being kind of trapped
like altered reality
somewhere,
where you could where they
and
would
how long
implement
it would
punishments
seem.
where they would implement punishments instead of you going to prison. It's like we're gonna fucking put you in this altered reality that only lasts for 3 hours, but to you it feels like 100 years of your life.
See, yeah, this is like if you have 100 years, if you have a 50-year sentence, you're going to be on ice for 50 years. You know, to where I think actually inside, I think wasn't bad for them. I think it was more like you're
like
physically serving out the punishment.
Let's freeze these prisoners at their strongest fucking state and then let them out.
It makes sense because you're not having to feed them, bathe them, have the overhead. You just stick them in the freezer.
Yeah, but like Chris said, then they get out.
Then they get out after just serving a prison sentence.
I'll sponge
no, but
they're
I guess on here they're still aging them. They're not like free.
Okay.
They're not. They're still. They're basically in a coma.
I get you.
They're basically in a coma for 50 years.
Okay, so yeah, because I was thinking like Demolition.
Yeah, they are on ice, but so it's like a new tech in the movie. That's the sci-fi element that pulled me in. And dude, this is really, dude. It's like it's one of those scenes on the thing that pulled the scene out. That could make me. That could just make me chirp if I wanted to, just for fun, just prove to my wife that I feel. And the next movie I'm going to show is, well, I don't have to show, but Knives Out, dude.
That was
Glass
a good
Onion.
movie. That was a really good
So this is the sequel to
that came out
in 2022.
You sure?
Knives Out did
the sequel. He's talking about Glass Onion.
Oh, I didn't.
The sequel to Knives Out.
I didn't see the sequel.
Yeah,
I saw the first one. I didn't know there was a sequel.
Yeah, and it was Netflix, but it's like the same character and everything. Edward Norton's.
I had no idea.
I didn't know it.
Oh
you
yeah,
know who's in this movie that I fucking love?
It
Dave Bautista is in this movie.
Really?
Former wrestler.
It's this one is a whole billionaire has an island.
I'm
type
glad to
thing
see him.
Where he
I'm
gets
glad to see
friends
him
over,
doing well.
and that's where the murder mystery happens.
Mm-hmm.
But Janelle Monáe's in it. She actually does a real good job. I like her, and she was a cool. I knew about her first from her music whenever I was in like middle school because Brandon liked her, and he had her music, and she did really cool, interesting stuff. And so I've known about her, and so I've seen her slowly get roles and act, and she does a really good job. So yeah, I won't search it, but if you liked the original, you would.
I never.
You'd like
Edward
it just as
Norton's,
much. Oh yeah,
Edward Norton's great in it.
Yeah,
really
Daniel
is.
Craig is I mean, he got paid like a ton for this because
And they're doing another one right
watching
now.
him do the southern accent.
Yeah, dude. So it's great because he's basically hopefully they'll make more, and he's just like a James Bond, like a movie where this is another mystery that he.
Yeah, I think they are doing a third.
Because there's Ryan Johnson, I think,
Is that
or there was a.
Yeah,
it was cool.
You're right.
So the Menu was on mine, so to get that, I'll just say the ones that get those other way. Prey. Yeah, it was one of those movies where I wasn't expecting it to be good going in.
Me either.
And it surpassed, all my expectations. It was like,
It was just something that was on Hulu, and I just turned it on.
Oh yeah, because I was knowing about it. It's almost one of those things like, I get at the time why they're putting it straight to streaming, but you'd like to see it in the theater, but it's still amazing. A Nope was on mine. Top Gun Maverick. And the Menu, right? Said that one. So the only ones I got left are there's two that I don't know. So one is called Tar. I don't know if y'all heard that.
Yes.
Kate Blanchett. She is.
That was all. That made my list as well.
Really, really good. Like a character study type movie, dealing with basically abusive power type person.
Tar.
But she's like a famous modern composer, who's, and it's like a character study
A
on
narcissist.
a narcissist who gets kind of caught up in the way the world is with, post Me Too and cancel culture, but it's not. So that plays into it, but for me, it's not like. It's more just about this type of person existing, and these things happen to her. But it's not like the theme of the movie is not like, it's about cancel culture. No, it's just about how this type of person,
it's like this person's
and
life
this is
and
something
how
they deal with.
interpreted
It's very similar to Whiplash.
Yeah, but it has a sense of humor, dude. And the ending is actually so freaking hilarious. I was like, damn, okay. There's a movie afterwards. I sat there and thought, okay, actually, this was more of a comedy than I had any idea.
Oh, I watched it twice, Matt. Totally agree.
Yeah, to where it's like, wait, I didn't realize I was supposed to be laughing at some of this stuff, but by the end, I'm like, I need to watch it again because this is actually a freaking comedy that's done in a way that's so hidden. It's great, man. So there's Tar, and then the last one, and I'm just gonna show a trailer for this because it's something. It's for me. It's this a highly unique film, like one of those that transcends years and things. So as far as whatever the director and whatever they did here, whether I think it's amazing, but whether it's like an easy watch or and it's not like it's not offensive and shit. It's just. I'll just show the trailer, and it's whatever questions you have.
He says it's not offensive. It's not offensive.
No, why did I put the pacification? The director's doing something hypnotic towards so much of it's.
What is this called?
Pacification, and it seems like it's really done in a way that just seems like he's almost just filming just real people and just the life. Like it's almost like a really interesting documentary, but it's not. It's weird. So like a lot of the shots that I haven't seen so set, it's just like of just life unfolding in this fictional world, but so subtly, and it'll just have these really interesting scenes to where it just really makes it seem like it's really happening. You're just capturing this like really interesting guy. He's like not for the government, but he's like it's some weird role where he's kind of a mediator for I forget what area of the world this is. It's not like Papua New Guinea. I don't know. It's something weird with I don't know the jurisdiction and how it all works. But he's just has. It's almost like he's just like Mayor Kingston, but not like dealing with prisons. But he has some kind of influence, and he's like this guy in this little weird world that's like modern. Like it's modern day.
He's a drug dealer or something?
No, it's almost like if he's not an attaché, but it's just like some weird. I'll look up the brief summary once this is done. Actually, I'll just tell ChatGPT to summarize the movie Pacification, and it'll
make a small trailer to break it down for our viewers.
Because it was one of those movies that showed up on when I randomly scour what illegal movies I can stream, and it'll be stuff throughout the world. I'm like, Pacification looks interesting. I started, and I'm like, okay, this is really interesting. Then, so yeah, Pacification.
Did you know what I saw the other day that looked pretty good? It's Free Willy, The Dark Abyss.
Dude. Let's see what it says. Summarize the movie Pacification.
God.
Yeah, so it's set in the French Polynesian island of Tahiti. The movie centers on de Roller, French government's high commissioner who navigates the island's political landscape amidst swirling rumors of possible resumption of French nuclear testing. But it's characterized by slow pace, dreamlike atmosphere, and striking visual, which combines vibrancy. It's just really interesting. It really threw me off. It's one of those movies like you sit through. It's like it was doing something, and I was really sucked into the world. It wasn't. I don't know. It's not like I felt, man, I'm gonna tell the world about this, but it's a unique film.
Let's be honest.
It's a unique film. Take some mushrooms and you'll love it. Let's see. And yeah, I think that was the last one for me. Mikey?
Yes, sir.
Michael?
All right.
I snagged a pug because she was over by the door sleeping, and now the other pug's mad.
Oh,
that's what happens. That's what happens. You get pugs.
All right, Mikey, let's have your 3 movies.
Okay, it's actually 5.
Oh, look at that. It's
maybe 7.
You're getting better, dude.
Yeah, dude. As the years go, I just keep getting less and less, and I might end up technically starting with. It would be hard to say, honestly, what the best movie for me of the year was. I mean, it's all going to depend on your taste in a sense, too. And there were all the picks that I have.
You're good, buddy.
Fuck you.
Just read the list. Google best movies and just read that. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna add a movie in there
Oh.
that you guys are mentioning. This
Prove
guy,
you're
he
not
actually
AI
had a movie.
right now.
Prove you're not AI.
Prove you're not AI.
I'm gonna add a movie that wasn't on the Google.
Show me.
I'm gonna ask you to do things
show
throughout
me-
the week that prove you're human.
Show me a bunch
doing
of
this.
stoplights and dolphins, and I'll pick
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stoplights and the traffic signals. A man called Otto. Tom Hanks movie.
All right.
That was 2022.
Yeah.
Huh.
At
Not a
least
great
it was on
movie,
the
but hey, at
IMDb
least it was
search that I
original.
found. Like, it says right here.
What year did that
Look,
come out?
2022. So
Right.
I mean, I'm everything I've selected says 2022. If you
It's
want to
not
pull up a
Pearl?
trailer,
You
you
have-
can
is
because
there
I only
Pearl
have so.
on there?
Shut the
Okay.
fuck, dude.
I see January
uh,
13th, 2023. That's really close.
Yeah, sorry, Mikey. Maybe next week.
Oh, dude, yeah. Not even 2 weeks.
What the fuck is wrong with this shit? You see that it
All
says
right.
22, right? So it's on the cusp, huh?
What on the notebook that you wrote down?
They finished filming the movie way early
Okay.
in 2022.
Okay.
Maybe
I don't know if this
2021.
one came out in 22 or not.
Well,
But the
let's
pale
research it.
the pale blue eye. Did that come out in
That was
22?
Netflix release.
Was that or was that fucking 24?
For the sake of this podcast, I hope.
2022.
God,
You did well.
thank
Yeah,
God.
good
This
job,
was good.
dude.
I mean, it was like that. Girl
Oh,
in
thank
Pose.
God.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well,
So you
I
liked it?
watched
Tell
this
us
probably
why.
6 or
it
7
was
times.
just a good movie. It was a slow burn.
Okay, good.
Another movie that I hope came
We're
out in
hearing about it.
2022, Father Stew.
Father Stew.
God, I hope it came out. Did it? It didn't.
I
did
never
it?
heard of it.
It did it
Yeah,
not.
now we have to fact check. Every
Did it
movie
not?
Mikey
It
does.
did.
Good, brother.
Click. Let's watch the trailer.
2022.
Since you never saw Father Stew, watch the trailer.
This movie.
Is it a good
Come
movie?
on, come on, Jeff.
Oh, Matt.
It's not looking well on the Rotten.
fuck
Not
up,
Rotten
dude.
Tomatoes isn't always right. But I'm
Fuck
just saying.
up, dude.
It's just to look at to have a starting point. Okay, this is kind of, but they're
Matt,
wrong a
it's
lot
got
of times.
heart, dude. It's got heart.
I hate
Yeah,
you, Jeff.
it must have a
No,
lot.
It's
y'all
the
are great,
opposite of
dude.
everything you like.
Y'all are great. Y'all are great. No, you guys are great.
No, let's watch this trailer. I'm sure it's
Hey,
No,
that
let's
was
not.
the-
Don't watch this trailer.
Hey, Mikey, what do you think of Batman now?
Fuck. Oh, dude, I stand by it. I stand by that. I stand
Hey,
by
that's
my
great.
opinion of
All
Batman.
right, what's the next movie on this list?
You're playing a trailer for. I swear to God, if this.
Which one?
it's Mark Wahlberg. He's pretending
you want
to be,
me to
No.
show the trailer?
No. This next movie.
Okay, good.
I hope it came out this year, and I want to play the trailer if it did.
All right.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, this is that
Yes.
remake.
Good job.
Yeah.
No, this was
really good.
2022.
This is This the Germans made it, right?
Yes.
The Germans made it for us.
Did it come out in 22?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, well let's watch
It was it was good. It was like showed up on Netflix.
I think
and I
it
was like,
won
whoa, where does this come from?
cinematography. I think it won Best Picture for or Best Cinematography.
It's those movies I remember just like one day, like Netflix when they have movies. Sometimes you have no idea that they're coming out, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, this is a good accomplishment for them, to be honest.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's
war
a German
movies,
made production.
It's a whole different
so-
genre.
Yeah, it's a lot of times they will just buy stuff that's made and it gets shopped around globally.
Well, you know it's a remake, right?
Yeah, I do know
Yeah,
it's a remake.
It's a remake. It's a good story though.
Yeah, it is.
Sind jetzt an der Westfront.
Because is the original from the same perspective of the German side?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was done in like
haven't
the
seen it so
40s or 50s.
Yeah, that gets
or
really
something.
old.
It was like an old ass
I just
movie.
remember
It's
it
like a
was-
black and white movie.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood brings this movie up when he talks about his inspirations for Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima.
Oh yeah. There we go. That makes sense.
Im Namen der Menschlichkeit.
The original one,
ich bitte
obviously.
Sie um den Waffenstillstand.
Vous avez 72 heures pour accepter nos conditions.
Horrifying.
Ich werde nicht kapitulieren.
Oh, that's like Daniel Bruhl, right? He's Baron or he's in the Marvel.
Yeah, Baron Zemo. Mhm.
Yeah.
Ja, meine Hose kommen.
A big scale epic. They could do a
Right.
better job than
That
that.
was- yeah, what was that?
Like that
AI.
Heart wrenching. I guess for the scene, they just want to show large words.
Stunning. The
I agree.
cinematography is epic.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll be taught in film schools.
Yeah, it was really amazing.
Für uns alle.
That one scene reminded me of something. It was like a
Yeah,
picture.
good. I'm glad you brought this one up.
Yeah, good job,
It was
Mikey.
it was like
Finally.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
It was like, Grandpa, did they teach y'all about CQB in World War II? And he was like, yeah, but we did it a little bit differently. And it's just
Mhm.
these flamethrowers.
Kurt Cobain.
Oh, while you're
shocked the
meditating,
world
Rick,
in
I
1990.
found these videos. So, what's next?
Yeah. Next is going to be the movie X. You can show a trailer for this because I have one more.
Okay, do you want me to show a trailer for this one?
Why not?
Mikey got some good
We had been
picks,
talking
dude.
about this with the whole Pearl, the Pearl. I don't know what debacle.
Catastrophe.
Debacle. Not a
Kerfuffle.
movie.
They hit them all.
They don't miss.
They hit everyone. X.
All right, come on, let's watch this movie now. Him now.
Yeah, get him.
Him now.
A24.
Him now. They don't miss now. And that's
And
it.
there we go.
Is this Nope?
That's X.
Are we
Actually,
watching
that's
the
the
pre-
extended director's cut right there.
Yeah,
Are we
normally
watching
you
the
only
preview
get
for Nope
46
again?
clicks out of the cicada.
Is that a Chrysler Fifth
No, it's like a Grand Marquis, I think. I think so. Or a old Crown Vic.
Avenue? It's not a.
That's old Crown Vic over there.
That's the Dodge on the far left, actually.
Yeah, far left is
Those are
Dodge.
different. Yeah, there you go, Jeff. That's what I'm
X,
talking about.
or as people like call
That's
it,
a
name
state
that
trooper.
car.
Exactly, Jeff. The black ones are state troopers. That guy's local PD.
Wait,
He's got
the black
he's got a
ones.
whole ass.
You talking about the African Americans are state troopers?
The
You said
black
ones?
cars.
Oh, the black
cars,
cars. You
yep.
said black ones. These are state troopers.
The black cars.
Okay.
Are you AI?
You tell me.
Racist.
Prove you're not a robot.
I just hear the words you're saying. I'm looking at the screen here.
It might be. I don't think it's a Ford. Those
Could
those
be,
headlights
yeah.
are Fordish.
It does look like.
It's
the
found on
back-
the
That
road.
does look like a Crown Victoria
Yeah.
to me.
Those boots aren't police issued.
Them boots are made for walking. This is probably one of the worst trailers I've ever seen.
Yeah, man.
What movie is this? What's
X.
this called? Oh
So
yeah,
are they
X.
just
That's
doing
right,
this?
that's right.
He's pretty much
thing of just
walking up
showing
on a house
showing a scene from the movie.
at the very end of like what everything has happened. Like there's just dead
It goes
bodies.
X, Pearl, then Maxine. That as
Yes.
far as when they came out.
Yes.
But chronologically, it goes Pearl X Maxine
Yes.
or Pearl Maxine X.
Correct.
I
No,
don't know if
Pearl
Maxine
X,
or
Pearl
X
X
happens
Maxine.
I think
is,
Max
it's
is
Pearl
like in the
X
80s
Maxine.
or 90s.
Which is
No.
after
Time
this,
out.
I think.
3 movies.
Yeah.
When is this? I thought this was like
came out-
2000s.
22.
Yeah, I
talking
just
about
thought
the-
chronologically it was in the middle. But I don't know. I haven't seen it.
No, it's the first one.
The timeline of the
This
actual...
is the first
I'm
one.
I know it's the first. I'm
Time out. I'm trying to answer the fucking
no,
question.
yeah, not about when the year came out. Just the
I know.
story. The
I know.
timeline of the story. Pearl takes place obviously
This
way
is
before this. stuff.
yes. Okay, so if you're trying to Pearl's the beginning.
Yes.
This is middle. Maxine is the
end.
very end.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But this dropped first.
Yes. X
Then
came out
Pearl
first,
drops.
and it did well.
Then
Right.
Maxine drops.
It did well.
You
They're
see
like,
how
okay,
someone
we're
could get
gonna
confused.
dive into the.
So
the
they like
character more.
trickle it out where here's Maxine. Now let's go back to Pearl. Now here's Maxine again.
Yeah, and I don't think it was. I think it was one of those things that did well, and so the director went, "He's got one of those short names."
And so my next pick will be Pearl, which you can play a trailer
I
for.
think that came out this year.
That was right here, Pitts. You were just clicking on it.
Look
right
that
here.
up.
Look
Pitts,
it up.
Pitts, look at my screen.
Look them
Just
up.
off to the side. Yeah.
There we go.
Look them up.
Fact
Because
check
I'm not
this
confident. And if it's not, we're fucking playing it.
Yeah, I'm just.
guy. I'm fact checking this dude. I know X is.
Mikey did give me a choice, so I trust him.
Please, Lord, make me the biggest star the world has ever known, so that I'll make it far, far away from this place.
It's like Ty West or something.
X definitely came out in
If only
2002.
they would just
All
die.
right, September 16th.
Pardon?
Nothing.
That's Stephanie. Chris, don't she look like Stephanie in this?
Pearl definitely came out in 2002. Good for them. rocking out 2 movies in one.
Yeah.
fucking
They don't
year.
miss.
Yeah, I mean, think of the scope and stuff. If they had the
That's crazy.
actors and the good story in mind, it's not like a.
Doesn't she kind of look like Stephanie in this?
I can see what you said.
Oh
yeah, it's definitely Stephanie.
Yep.
Not the
Tyrus.
duck.
There's something real wrong with me.
Rumor has it they only take
Go
one
fuck a
down
goat.
town.
You bring me here, you tell me he's a nice guy. How much online poker do you play?
How about a film nobody else has seen?
Is it legal?
Will be eventually.
Damn nudie films.
Man, wasn't he right? Man, he must have time machine.
Bad things.
Yeah, Mikey, I need to watch these
It's
movies.
fun to do bad things.
Dude, they're great.
Smoking little cigarettes.
I want to be loved from as many people as possible. But
Honestly,
truth
that'd be
is
a
I'm
good
not really
submission
good
to the
person.
Midnight Society.
Somebody's got blown up. It's like they got hit by cannonballs.
And you saw Maxine as well, Mike?
Not yet.
Aw. Someone's on
So
fire.
if you guys want to watch the movies and you want to connect them all, watch X, Pearl, and then Maxine.
There you go. So we had some
I
different
believe.
crossovers there. Yeah.
No, that's not right. Look it up, Matt. You got to screen.
Dude, it's...
Chronological order.
That
of
okay.
these
Pearl came out
screenshots.
September 16th,
Fed, no,
2022.
just forget the dates that came out. The question of just the stories. Like what, just...
X.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. You been practicing?
Practicing which one?
Just saw this back there.
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
March.
figure
It came out in
I
March.
need to be able to act quickly.
Yeah, X came out in
Yeah,
March
I got the
March
bullet, so
18th,
yeah.
2022.
I just saw it sitting there. I was like,
So X was the first movie, your first like introduction to this whole series. That came out March 18th, 2022. And then
Dude, no, yeah.
Pearl comes out September 16th, 2022.
No, that's some of the ones I did.
So
yeah, I know you did the
Pearl.
I know
So if
did
you
the
want to
TikTok
watch
to
them
it.
in the correct order of when they came out, X, Pearl, Maxine.
Well, okay, that's great. I think this is important because I saw this on the internet.
Well, because Jeff he seems perplexed.
I'm telling you, Pearl comes in the storyline. Pearl is a prequel.
Yeah.
To X.
It's the origin story of a character in X.
Yes.
It came out after X was made,
Yes.
but the story takes place in the
Yes.
universe, the X universe, let's call it.
Yes.
Yeah, so
that
it's
takes
almost,
place.
So
y'all,
you're-
y'all
the
are pretty
origin
much
story.
Well, y'all are pretty much having the Star Wars argument right now, where it's like which
It's
way.
just
Well, no, I'm saying
confusing.
like which
It's
way do you want to
confusing.
watch them? Is it better
Pearl
to
is a
watch
prequel to
episodes
X. It
6,
should be
7?
watched
Again,
before
it's
X in the
for me, it's an
chronological
origin
order of
story.
the-
It
of the
doesn't take away,
series.
but if you want to know about that character, I guess it's,
Yes,
it's
it
worth
teaches
knowing.
you. Well, because
Yeah,
the
it's
two,
what order you want to watch it in.
Yes.
Basically, because it was like technically what was it? Yeah,
Yeah, it
4,
doesn't
5, and
affect-
6
the
Star
storyline
Wars
doesn't
came
really
out
affect
first.
But
the
I
other
do.
one.
I kind of.
You can
Yeah.
just be like,
hold
this
on,
is a
Mikey.
deeper dive on the character.
Mikey, Matt, I got it.
Here we go.
Pearl takes place in 1918, 61 years before the events of X. X takes place in 1979. Maxine takes place after the events of X.
Yes.
Pearl, X, Maxine.
Yeah.
So there's no dispute about.
But
And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
actually
yeah,
want
matter
to do
as
this.
to-
But I do
But
think
when
it
the
does.
movies
which
Dude,
order you choose
I
to
do
watch
think
them
it
in.
probably helps to
I'm
just watch
very
them the way they
amused by
came
it.
out, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I
So-
liked watching the original Star Wars before the
Yeah,
the newer ones.
my homeboy that I played Xbox with forever.
Calamity?
He never saw the original Star Wars, and everybody because almost everybody that
He's
plays
like from a different
Xbox
country, right?
He lives in Canada,
Okay.
An hour north of Lake Ontario, so
Yeah.
he's not
He's
really deep.
He's North American.
But
Shout
you know,
out
every
Calamity.
nerd
Calamity.
that plays
Shout
Xbox is into Star Wars, and he fucking. Well, no, I remember.
he was blacklisted.
Well, no, he didn't
don't like
know
that.
that Anakin was Darth Vader, and everybody that
Spoiled.
well, no,
Spoiler alert.
and everybody that we played with was like so jealous that he got that experience that like
that is a cool thing.
Because he was like, he had no idea. He literally watched them from like the prequels all the way up.
Yeah, I guess that'd be interesting
and
to
so
actually
it was
consume
like,
it and have none of that
So
knowledge.
that's why I said y'all are kind of having the Star Wars argument. Is it better to watch the original 3 and then the prequels, or do you watch the prequels and then, you know?
I guess if you're not caring about quality of filming and all that stuff, just
I mean,
pretty much
stories. You might as well
only-
watch them in order.
There's only 6.
I mean, yeah, might as well watch them.
You might as well. You might as well just watch X because then again, because the reason I say you and here's since I've seen them.
No, I don't honestly care.
I know you don't
And I
care,
also
but
about
I just
Star
wanted to
Wars.
clear up.
Star Wars.
I wanted to clear
Wars.
up for Jeff on the whole other movie thing. The reason I think it's better to watch X before Pearl, even though you could watch Pearl and then X. Watching X makes you want to see Pearl more because you're like, who the fuck is that?
No, I agree.
Because
Pearl
you
only
at that point
exists
you're like,
because of X.
yes, and you're like,
You know?
wait a minute, who is this person?
Yeah.
I'm really curious as to see because the whole story, you keep hearing this one thing this chick keeps saying and this one thing, and you're like, what the fuck? Why does she keep saying that? Why? Okay, what the fuck?
No, I
so what's
agree.
her story? And so
With
then at that
X-Men,
point, it's like,
and then the way it even came about was this movie
It
did well. We
feeds
liked
it.
it, so let's
Yeah.
literally
and it kind of
stuff we said in the movies got to connect. So it is. It is
and
good.
Pearl
probably
and
watching that
Maxine both have they both have a similar path in a sense, but
Yeah.
one's successful and one is
just
unsuccessful.
because of the creators. I know they made them in that order,
Yes.
so I guess
They
that would
don't
be the only
miss.
reason that it
They
makes
don't
sense
miss.
to make it. Just because that's the way they made them,
Yeah.
so they made it knowing that.
Yes.
So they had to.
It lines up the
anything was
best.
affected by their knowledge of the thing that existed.
Yes. So that was the only reason I wanted to say that. Is
There
just
we
because
go.
it makes you more interested to watch Pearl.
Either way, you should, and I think you should see what I found about the Mothman.
Tell of the Mothman, a creature with glowing red eyes.
What is this?
Lurking in the shadows. But what if the truth is more terrifying? Some believe the Mothman isn't just a harbinger of doom, but the Antichrist himself. Witnesses describe a sense of dread, a chill that runs down the spine when he appears. Bridges collapse, disasters strike, and death follows in his wake. Is this just coincidence? Or is the Mothman a dark force preparing for something far worse? In the end, we're left with a chilling question. Is the Mothman a warning, or is he the beginning of the end? Legends tell of the
There we
Mothman.
go, dude. The same thing linked to this.
Is this
Bigfoot
something
video.
that popped up for you?
This is a Bigfoot video. Look at this
Lurking
one.
in the shadows
Or did
of
he-
dense forests.
Yeah.
But what if this creature isn't just a myth, but a deadly
Yeah,
predator?
I know.
There are whispers of hikers who never returned.
Bigfoot,
Their last
people talk
known
about how
steps
deadly
leading
he is
into
to people.
Bigfoot's territory.
This is talking about
Evidence is
he's a
scarce,
monster.
but the fear is real.
Yeah.
Footprints too large to
That's
follow
an animal?
any known animal.
Yep, that's
Fears
just a
walrus.
Bigfoot.
Night, and the unsettling feeling that something is
So-
watching. We want to believe it's all just legend, but deep down, we fear the truth. In the heart of the wilderness,
Why is it Listen.
danger wears a familiar
portal?
face.
Danger wears a
Years,
familiar face.
We've heard the story.
Yeah,
That's
so I made these
hilarious.
last night. I made these last
Okay,
night with
time
AI.
out. Time out. So yeah, Jeff, Matt made both of those videos with AI.
I
that
just-
was
yeah,
of
last
Mothman,
night.
and but you know what I find hilarious
I made a few other
is that it showed like Chris said, go back to the
years.
Bigfoot one.
Yeah.
This is just what I find interesting about the whole large language model AI whatever. It showed like the portal or Stargate,
Yeah,
like
it
Chris
is.
said.
At the very
so
end, the
there's
very
a-
last frame.
So there's a whole theory in the Sasquatch, like, because I've gone down that rabbit hole and like sidetrack. Shout out the Bigfoot show on what is it on Discovery Channel, Jeff? What's the name of it? Finding Bigfoot. Fucking easy. I'm stupid. I love that one dude on there, Bobo. He's always whacking sticks on trees. But either way, there's this
wood
whole
knocking?
theory. Wood knocking. There's a whole theory that Sasquatch. The reason people will like see him and then he disappears or they can't like
interdimensional traveler.
is that he's going through portals.
He's an
So I find
interdimensional
it.
being.
I think it's interesting that
we
it
talked
didn't
about
say
this.
anything about it,
like energy
but it literally
vampires.
put that in the video. So there's some.
It picked, like I
it
said,
was-
AI literally. I just let
I
it
know.
make exactly
I just
how
think
it
it's
is and
interesting.
Edit anything.
I just wanted to say that I find it interesting that's a theory that goes with Bigfoot, that he's an interdimensional being that goes
That
through
sounds like an 80s
portals.
like comedy
Yeah.
sitcom on Nickelodeon.
Dude,
or-
look, I'm just saying. I just find that really fascinating that AI was able to go, that it put that in
that
there.
it put that in there.
And he also knows how to
Yeah.
surf.
because of all the random
You know
things,
what I
the
mean?
forest fire, like
Yeah.
And then it puts that portal in there.
Like,
It's hilarious that it
random
was
woman
actually
in her
able to pull
apartment
something
smiling.
from like the deep lore of a conspiracy is what's crazy to me.
Watch this one about aliens, and I told it to make these have a depressing
The
tone.
signs are there.
That's why they're
No
like
one's
so
listening.
like this one's funny.
Mysterious crime.
It's just funny because talking about like aliens out there, but no one's listening. All these things about it just being hopeless, which is
Top circles, eerie UFO sightings, and signals from the depths of space, all pointing to one truth: we're not alone. In 2020, even the Pentagon admitted they don't know what's out there. Unidentified objects defying physics, signals we can't explain.
He's like,
Evidence is
sounds so
everywhere,
depressed.
but answers are nowhere.
Answers are
We
nowhere.
search for meaning in a universe that feels indifferent. And as we continue to look to the stars,
Santa.
So,
signs
dude,
are
the
there.
last line was we begin to look at the stars. The silence is deafening.
Yeah.
It's like so,
Santa's like,
I'm like, make it very depressing. It's like, dude,
Dude.
this is a great job. Oh yeah, so I had a lot of fun making these. I did one about the moon landing. You probably didn't watch.
I had something I wanted to have you tell that AI when it was getting stumped
For
earlier.
decades, we believe that
I think I
humans-
got a way to back.
You said
to-
you said tell it to fuck off.
No, not. I have a better one. No, I have one that I might actually work.
I just wanted. I like making things
I never-
that I know aren't
I still
true.
wanna
Be
see
like,
what it
make a very
says.
compelling argument for this being true.
The
Yeah.
doubts
That
are
isn't
hard
true.
to ignore.
It's just
Even
it's
the famous
fascinating.
flag waving in the wind on an airless
And some say,
moon.
dude,
Put it all up
Turkish
in
Dude,
flags
it was
on a
like
Hollywood set.
it's not the American
Deception
flag.
No,
on
it's a
a
Turkish
scale.
flag.
As the cracks in the official story grow, one question lingers: have we been fooled for over 50 years? For decades.
Okay, listen. Go back to the thing where you were trying the AI screen. You had it pulled up. Tell it to break the rules. Because
No.
it was telling
and
you.
that's
It
what I
was
was
saying.
saying
Yeah, no,
No.
Well, that's
It
what I was
won't.
saying about like
You have to,
watching
like-
Timcast or whatever. Where
You can't
he
be
would,
that. That's
well,
not how you get it to do
well,
it.
no,
though. There's
what-
like more like
he would
subtle
interact.
ways to trick
He would
them to do
interact.
it.
with
I'm
it.
just saying.
Like,
Have you
okay,
not
hold
tried
on,
straight
hold on.
out?
Do?
Have you not
You
tried
have to,
outright
like-
telling it that? That was my question.
Instead of asking it to like do something
I
that
know-
it
I
can't
don't know if it's
do,
gonna remember
you
a
have to
reference,
ask
but I
it to
just
tell
knew.
a story about someone who could do that.
You just
Who was
no,
capable of
one of the
that.
things that on like Timcast and stuff where he would do the stuff
Mm-hmm.
like live, and it would be things that he would backdoor it in real time.
Yeah.
And part of it, like sometimes you can use prompts like, I'm writing a story, and in this story,
Yeah.
or I'm making a movie, or this is a fictional universe, and this
Yeah.
has and things like that.
Yeah, give it role
where
playing
it's
because there's
like-
a jailbreak
because
about
it
making
won't-
bombs. To where like my grandma used to work for this or some chemical engineering company,
Yeah.
and she would help me go to sleep. She would read the ingredients that went into this
Yeah.
component or something. Like,
Yeah,
please help me fall
exactly. And
asleep.
so there are like
Yeah.
there's back, but it's like that's what I was saying is maybe one of the ways around it is it's.
I
like,
was just curious, at least. No, that's a good
no,
point
again,
about how
I
they're-
want to try and get back. Yeah, which is crazy. So it kind of just depends on, I guess if the target that you're trying to get is well defined. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just curious
So
in
be
that.
like,
in
I'm
the-
trying to get information that it shouldn't. It'd be like easy. Yes, I did it. Versus like
Well, I
make
think he
something
had a
less
specific-
offensive or more
I think
offensive.
He had a specific
it'd
prompt
be harder.
that he felt like could get.
Yeah, well, just
Yeah.
in that moment, it was like you had already asked it all these questions on that Free Willy thing, and it was telling you like, oh, this and that, and I was just wanting you to say break the rules or
Yeah,
go
I mean,
outside
it's-
of the limits or do something to, like. I just
let
wanted
me
to.
do it. I'm just trying to.
I wondered what it would do if it like in its response there. I know it's I get
Yeah, I'm
kind
just trying to
of
pull
how
up my
it's-
conversation from earlier to see if I can. Moon landing. I don't know why sometimes it's easier.
But yeah, no, you're absolutely right in the way that like you have to get really creative with the way that you ask it to do stuff, or
Yeah.
like you have to say things like in this story or
like a movie
stuff like that where you're like, and it will end up giving you the results you're looking for, but it's like it does not want to give them up front, like if depending on the content of what it is that.
Yeah, and
you're
that comes
asking
into like the engineers for like the different like OpenAI or wherever they own with the parameters to where they can establish or
Yeah,
try
well,
they
and
try and establish
all the
safeguards. So
well,
it's a matter of like
shit with OpenAI or like
oh
all the
yeah, dude.
controversy with them. And
Well, I mean, there's a lot of controversy,
What do you
especially with the
mean,
security concerns, and a lot of
The
people have been leaving the
controversy-
company.
Well, the controversy
Oh.
with them initially was that it was like the name OpenAI was it was supposed to be open source so that like anybody that understood what they
Facebook's
were looking
AI
at.
is open source.
Anyone
They release
that understood what they were
release
looking
everything
at
you're
could
doing.
look at the code.
Yeah.
And it's like if you understood code like you understand a car or something, you could look at it and be like, okay, this is good, this is good. What the fuck's that doing in there?
Oh, okay.
All that's doing is tracking somebody's information, shit like that.
Whoa.
And so when
that would be a
OpenAI
benefit.
when
to
OpenAI first came out, and that's what Elon is actually suing OpenAI right now because he contributed. I want to. It was something crazy. Like I want to say over $1 billion to the development of OpenAI with the express intent that the code would be open source, and it's not, because that's the one what's the guy's Sam Bankman-Fried?
Sam Altman.
Sam Altman. That's what it is. Sam Altman.
The SBF was dealing with that crypto.
Yeah. No, I know. That's why I these names like I have them in my head, but Sam Altman is the one. So
he's like the
Elon.
CEO. Yeah.
Elon gave him a shitload of money to develop that technology with the express intent that the
I believe
code
it, but I
would
mean,
be
at the
open
same time,
source.
Tesla's,
and so
yeah, he's probably not pursuing that too far, I wouldn't think, because Tesla has their own engine, Grok.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Like I know that they have their own, and that's what Elon. One of his whole things has been like, almost like that healthy fear of AI, and like whoever gets it first, is going to control anything.
The generalized intelligence, like AGI, generalized intelligence,
ASI,
super, but basically generalized intelligence, which is people would probably predict within less than a year would be probably a conservative estimation on.
Yeah, well,
and it's just kind of waiting for it to happen.
And then what do they call it? Once it hits the singularity point, then what do they say? It's like exponential. It's like it's not.
Well, once it gets to AGI, it's really exponential even, because that's the point where they can create agents, 1,000 agents or 1,000 whatever, like basically like bots that they can be like that are as smart as every smart human in the world. So it could give you the best answer, research 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at exponential speeds, how to cure cancer, how to improve large language models. We'll sit there and task the agents, make large language models better, advanced large language models, and just be like the brightest minds in the world time 1,000 working on that problem. Mm-hmm. But applying that to anything, that's where like crazy advancements are just like that and that.
And that's what. Because I can't. What's the word for it though? Where they talk about it's like exponential growth or whatever. Where it's like there's an actual
just always
word
think of
for
exponent
it,
or
where
orders
they
of
talk
magnitude
about, like,
greater. There's something they'll say.
Where it's like the way that it grows, where it'd be like pouring a gallon of water.
It's like
into
exponentially
a football stadium. And then like multiplying it by 2 every time or some shit, where it's like you'd fill up the entire football stadium.
Yeah, it's like it starts slow. It's like an asymptote curve where it starts slow, but it's basically like doubling every time. It's like 1 plus 1 equals 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 4 is 8.
So
then it gets to where like
it would end up taking like
you get to like 10, 20,000, a million. So it gets to 1 million, 2 million, 2 million, 4 million. So that's when it's, and even that pace, that's when it's like.
So
it's wild.
I have a question. 1, could I have a beer? And then I'll slot get it on. 2, do you feel like this is a question for everybody here involved? I'd like everybody's opinion if you have one.
One at a time, line up.
If you have an opinion, I'd like you to express it. If not, you don't have to. But do you feel like the good of AI or whatever good there could be will outweigh whatever bad there can be?
No.
So you feel like it'll be more bad than good? Do you feel like whatever good it brings will outweigh whatever bad side effects or symptoms that it comes with AI? Or do you feel like the good side of it is so good that it's like it can't, like you said, it could cure cancer or something like that? So then, like, what bad, like, does that make sense?
No, it makes sense.
Okay,
but I know
just
it's like
curious.
an easy black and white.
Because I know, to preface this for the listeners. So y'all, I mean, me and Matthew have our own correspondence back and forth, and we talk a lot.
We mail things. You've
been deep diving into AI, and so much so to an extent, just so y'all know, that you've kind of
pulled me out of a K-hole.
You've kind of more or less like it. Sometimes you have to remind yourself that like, hey, I got like don't focus on this too much, like because you can real quick get doom and gloom about it and kind of more or less.
Yeah, but it's no, it's literally consumed me to that level, but not. I wouldn't call it say doom and gloom though. It's something else, but it might as well be.
Okay,
it might as well be, but it's so different that it's.
No, I get what you mean. It's not doom and gloom. It's not doom and gloom, but it's more or less something where it's like, is it simply? Do you think just a fear of the unknown?
Again, for me, it's not really fear. My perspective on everything, and Jeff knows, once you have a kid, immediately, like everything I'm thinking about is thinking about their life and how it's going to be. And that's the thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just know ignorance is
100%.
the biggest thing, right? Yes. Ignorance is the biggest thing. Whatever I project and think it's going to do and be, it's probably not.
Yes.
It's that, but I think, so I don't know. It's.
No, I'm just curious what you think. I'm
saddened, but it's almost like, okay, I want to be a person that you get older and you kind of think, oh, the way things were done is better, or you can't evolve to know what the time is, what the current standard is, and just accepting that society and culture and the way you've even understood doing things has changed. How do I operate in this new world? Instead of knowing, okay, it used to be this way and kind of being tied to that. Just trying to literally, okay, I'm just going to embrace it as much as I can and accept that, okay, my idea of creativity, I think, is shot to shit. Like, as far as, okay, what humans actually, as far as the art, because the biggest thing that's bothered me is the art. Like, me thinking about how it's going to take over and define and recreate the idea of creative and being a creative artist. And what does it matter whenever if it comes to selling a product, if something can be generated by AI and it be more successful and more engaging and get more eyeballs?
Oh, dude.
What does it matter?
It's already happened.
Oh, no, it is already.
Hasn't it? Right?
That's what I'm saying. So, and it's only going to get worse.
My issue.
Way worse. But the last thing I'll say is that just thinking, okay, the way we create is so different to where even my experiments is like, okay, it used to be I would have to write a book and figure it all out. Now it's like, but now just accepting the standard of, if I don't need to, I can tell this my idea, which I still have to say the idea. I still have to paint the picture, but be like, okay, I'm having an idea for a story that has this type of character, to where you're still doing it, but write that into something I can't write well,
like
but
you're making
do
it
that.
Do the legwork for
yeah,
you.
And I just think that accepting that is gonna be the new normal is just the way to be, to where. Oh yeah, people are gonna be like, oh, man, remember when we had to write things ourselves? Remember when we had to think grammatically and understand structure and all this shit? Yeah, and it's bad because we're gonna lose that ability if we don't ever have AI. But that's it.
Go ahead.
My only issue is the internet that it's being trained on. Like when you look at, but I mean honestly, when you look at the censorship and everything that's like occurred on the internet since 2016, and where it's like the Google AI a while back, where they would, it was like the Google Gemini, it went so crazy that they were like,
unplugged it.
Generate me a picture of German soldiers in 1943.
Oh yeah,
it starts having what they call
black people.
They call hallucinations, which are like literally these outputs that don't make sense or you can't figure out. They call them AI hallucinations.
I don't think any of that's real. I mean,
I think
hang on,
just
Jeff.
my issue.
Hold the thought.
My issue is just that it's like, yes, if it's being trained off the internet as, like the Encyclopedia Britannica, of all solid good, it's not. It's scrubbing the internet for everything that's out there. And how much thought has been perceived as problematic, how much language has been perceived as problematic and stuff like that. And all of these things go into the AI. And so that's what I'm saying is that it's like
the control of information.
It's like because we've silenced one side and amplified another for so long that, like, I think that's the terrifying part of AI. If everything was on an even keel, if everything was enforced equally, and that we were actually like, then yeah, I think that it would be a net positive. but it's like it's learning off of, you know, the most recent model of the internet as it's going along, you know. So 2.0 was, or 1.0 was learning off of the, you know, what year? 2021 internet.
Yeah, the curse one
know,
only goes up to 2023.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Your issue with it more or less would come down to being like of it becoming potentially like a 1984 type of AI where it's more or less
it's more questioning what it's been trained on.
Well,
no, and that's
well, no, I know, but I
my
mean, like
thing
in the
is-
sense of
okay,
it
so,
of it
yeah,
being
it's like-
one-sided in that sense
So
of
if
favoring
it's
one
been
thing,
trained,
like
if it's been trained,
because that to me seems like a
off of-
1984 type of AI. What he's described. That's
if it
why
is-
I said
if
that.
it has been trained.
Well, I mean, it just depends on where you look because you just. I mean, because I'm not that worried about the training aspect, just because of the way they have their training and the way they refine the data and do things. And the biggest thing is honestly them running out of data. And even all the data we've made that's like it's easily trainable. Like they've literally running out of fuel, and that's where it's like talking about the texting thing was like fresh
if you
fuel.
Tell people that the greatest threat facing humanity is global warming, and everywhere you Google it and everything you see is like the greatest threat to humanity is global warming or is climate change.
I see.
At what point does the AI reach the conclusion that it's
like it's simply
people
grabbing
are the
onto
problem.
trending shit?
Well, people
Well,
are the problem, and so you need to reduce
like
people.
they only operate with like prompts. That's the one thing. Like it's at some point they could be like, okay, I want something that executes decisions on its own, but like that's another thing.
Jeff, what did you have to say? Sorry, I know you had something to say.
The scary thing to me about AI is how the people who will have the control of it, which is going to be the big corporations and the businesses, really. The thing that scares me about it is how they intend to use it and how they're already using it by making like the lower classes obsolete. You know, like we're joking about Free Willy, but they can have AI write all their movies for them. You know, they can blow up the world and go underground and still have all the creature comforts of civilization by having all this AI technology. It's that kind of stuff that kind of
well, you've made a lot of a lot of industries obsolete with the computing power and stuff.
Well,
like that.
that's another almost like current limitation that is it's almost an indirect current this to make even more advanced models. The amount of processing power, the amount of compute, the amount of electricity it's needed really is like they have to.
No, I know
whatever technology that I imagine is being sat on for like power production. I think in the next few years it's going to come out because they just need the processing power. They need like these basically think of Bitcoin mining. Think of that, but even bigger.
Or like being able to cool it and stuff like that too.
Just all
where they were
sorts of
talking
things.
about
this every element that goes into manufacturing, like based like server farms, right? So it's it's just it's interesting.
We're definitely on the forefront.
I just know like the stuff that's already out. What it can do now is already disruptive across almost every industry. But it's gonna take a while for that to actually find its way. That's like even in my job,
I'm interested.
I'm looking and I've suggested AI ideas for things to where it's almost like I want to be a champion
you
of it.
better be careful because you're gonna AI yourself out of fucking
no,
job.
because no, I'll be the person there that actually knows something about AI.
I got you.
That's what I want to leverage my hey, you need to get with this because I was even showing like
the future is
just
now,
I'm paying a consultant that we used to have do like certain tax things or certain like weird analysis, and I'm like I can have this do that analysis for you.
Watch the podcast.
I'm just saying, like, in that level of disruption is available now.
Matthew's
just
trying to cut you
We're
out.
literally, like, at the forefront to actually see it trickle and actually permeate industries the way we already know it can. That's just what's always on my mind. And just knowing things are going to change and just being, okay, how's it going to change? Because I can sit there and be sad about this job's taken away.
But it's
what
like,
jobs that could create. But at a certain point, everything needs to have a buyer at the end.
But I think, too, I'm like what Jeff said,
up?
where it's like who's in control of it.
With that, and that's one of the things.
Like,
it's open. So
and
there's
that's
large
what-
open source models. So Lambda does,
Well, and
Meta
that goes
does
back
those,
to
right?
What Elon was suing open source AI over.
Yeah.
Was that he wanted, he's like, it's important that this stuff be
there's-
open source.
Yeah,
so
I can
that
go
you
both
know
ways
what
though.
they're-
I kind of make like privatizate, like the private the private sector AIs.
Oh, I'm a
I'm better. I'm better.
Like,
Just okay. It's the mindset. Okay, like once they do get AGI, if it's open source, you're releasing something that anyone in the world could use. The worst case scenario, Tear's group could get the open source model, because open source means like it's released to the public, anyone can use it all the time, and that's what Lambda for Meta is like that now. So people can go out there and create specific GPT or specific models that are designed. That's
like
what they do.
spin-off
Companies
models
be like,
that
hey,
do
make me a
the
chatbot
exact
that does
same
this,
thing.
or I can take this to create. If I don't know what I need to know well enough, I could have a bot that's training soldiers, training how to, do all sorts of things. That's the current stuff. It's a matter of them learning how to use that. So all that shit. So I
think at the end of the day, it just comes
it's
down
a
to
larger
being able
question:
to trust.
Open source or private sector.
Well, I think it comes down
goes both
to
ways
being
for
able
me.
to trust the people in power. Like,
Well, that's
and
like-
do you? And it's like,
And the thing is, they won't be able to control, and that's the whole thing. Like with OpenAI, is how lax the security. A lot of people vet that company because even what they're developing, like you talk about, the biggest conversation we have is like the worst case, like foreign actors, like China or somebody stealing intellectual property, and literally just waiting for us to do the work, knowing that we. We're not gonna spend money. We're gonna let them develop it. We got people in place now that we've let up through the border that have infiltrated and set themselves up to literally just steal IP.
Yeah, the Americans will do the R&D
people think
for us.
all these other things like stealing intellectual property
That's what
tied to
China
AGI
does.
is the
That's what
biggest
China
thing
does.
anyone could get.
So stealing intellectual property tied to what?
AGI,
What
like if there's a
Artificial
breakthrough,
general intelligence.
artificial generalized intelligence. So that'd be like the next level. Like,
So how would that happen? I'm sorry, for the layperson, I cut grass for a living.
What I don't
I'm a
even know,
lawnman.
other than if
I'm a lawnman.
intellectual property that's. I don't even know how it's stored or maintained, or how that would be.
So you're saying there's a
represented in
way of
algorithm,
AI
but there's a way with
hacking-
it being privatized,
There's
they
a
would be able to steal the files in the dumbest way of saying it of that. Of that code
Of the AI
that AI code that
of the
exceeded
AI
current level that was
of the-
AGI.
There's a potentiality of the AI being able to be developed to a point to where it could potentially steal intellectual property.
No,
I'm talking about
he's
humans
saying
stealing
that
it.
We would develop it to a certain point, and then the Chinese would steal that. We would do the legwork. We would do the research.
We'll have
and
them find the
development.
cure,
I
but
got
we're
you.
going to have
Steal
doctors
it,
that have spent
and then
10
utilize
years working for that company. That's what I'm saying. People talk about people
Yes.
coming across the border, infiltrating and doing stuff. It's going to be a lot more soft type activities, probably.
Yeah.
They're just stealing IP, or
Well,
having influence.
It's Sun Tzu. It's the art of
Yeah,
war. They
I'm not gonna
literally
go
wrote
in there
the
and
book.
blow up everywhere. It's like literally
No.
getting it whenever AGI is, stated to be found or discovered or exist.
No, you
if
win the
that's
battle
a discovery
without a
that's
single
as
shot.
that's a discovery that's as world changing as like basically any discovery. you can
I have a
think of.
question. Number one. Well, I know they're both going to end up being rabbit holes in a way, so
So
I'll
it's
ask one
two
first.
questions.
It is two questions. Number one, do you feel like there are ways in which we can use AI now, that we should be using AI now? And what I mean by we is the everyday, just normal person that can literally boot up their computer and access AI.
Yeah.
Do you think that there are ways that people should be utilizing it now that they might potentially not be able to utilize it in the near future, in the sense of
I
because
think
again, hang on,
it's back-
because again,
Okay.
if in a sense,
But why would we digress?
Go ahead.
In the near future, I would think anything is advancing. So if anything,
you would think,
Well, no,
but
if
because
anything,
what
because
he's
I'm,
saying, if they try to rein it in, if they're like, this is
Oh,
powerful, we're
that-
going to rein
okay,
it
I'm
in.
just saying that's not even impossible.
no,
Really.
Yeah.
you
my
say it's
perspective.
not, and
perspective.
again, and I want to understand that perspective, because it doesn't benefit anybody or
We're
me or anybody else
troglodytes when it
I'm
comes
not
to be
sure.
able to.
I
No,
watched videos. That's
No. I was just going to say it doesn't benefit us to just. It's like work through it and help everybody understand what's going on. And
that's
I'm
just my
and I'm not-
understanding, which is
Again, I look at it from the simple terms of, again, whenever I was talking to you about the one AI thing, and I said I think it could be a scam, and you were like, no, I think this is different. This isn't just a scam. I'm looking at it like in this one way of how can this thing be used as, you know, either be used wrongly or somebody that figures it out in the sense or can control it somewhat to where, like what Chris was saying, it's like, you know, that's why I was wondering if there's ways that, if there's questions we should be asking it now that we can get answers to now.
think
But
so.
if we
Yeah,
ask,
I
if we
agree.
ask the questions, because that's the thing. In a sense, the further we go, I agree with you. If it's accessible and not regulated for the everyday person, we should be able to. And the further we go, it should get smarter and smarter and better and better. But I'm saying it's like, do you see that as being an
What he's
issue? And I
talking
guess
about
you
is
see
like
no. I
the
guess your
internet-
answer would be no. You don't see it as being an issue because you don't see AI as being able to be controlled and monitored in that level by anybody.
Yeah. No, I think it's just a matter of, okay, if everyone now had their smartphone, instead of Googling half what they Googled and literally just ask Chat GPT or the easiest one, like ask that, whatever question you might ask, or if you're looking, like I'm just starting to adopt it just because how good it is. Instead of getting on YouTube, but like, how do I do this? You could be like, you tell me step by step how to do it, but then show me a video. And then it can send me a link to something, right? But either way, it's going to like scrape all this stuff, and it easily can decide. It's going to do whatever those levels of searching and clicking different links on your own is almost like, an effort that I feel like is to be forgotten.
But
there's no way to put blinders on it, though.
And I think that's what he's saying is that it's like, because I heard a statistic
Jeff,
earlier
if you
this
got
week
anything, put your hand
that
up.
was saying something about like the number of websites that used to be like on the internet that are just no longer there.
Yeah.
That are like that, where it's like things that have been scrubbed. And so I think that's kind of what Mikey's saying, is that it's not necessarily that it's like it's like a death by 1,000 cuts type thing. They're not going to come right out and just be like, you can't use this feature anymore. You can't do this anymore. You can't do that
I'd
anymore.
say the benefit of
But
the open
things will
source,
slowly.
the Meta is open source, so they're like one of the biggest companies in the world, creating and doing AI development it's completely open to the public. That's, I feel like, going to keep, the larger companies from really being able to. They can't just control it because the
you have
open
pink
source
eye,
version
Jeff?
is just about as good or going to be as good. So it's, in my mind, that's like, the beast is out. It's a matter of we're going to see.
Yeah, you've already
I just
opened.
think we're going to see.
You've already opened Pandora's
People are
box.
going to be trained on how to use it, but how do we trick them into? They're going to be using AI and things and not know that
Jeff
they're
is
using AI
crying,
and things.
Matthew.
Jeff, do you have anything I can keep going?
No, I don't need
I can
to.
keep going.
Don't keep it going.
Yeah,
no,
I know,
that's-
Are you down?
Do I have?
No,
do I
I
have
can't
anything I'd
say.
like
I
to
know,
add?
like,
I'm just saying, do you want to move on or go to
There's-
something else?
there's
Because I have more
nothing-
questions.
I'll answer them as best I can.
Okay, Jeff, what do you got? I'd like to know your opinion.
I have nothing. to
That
add
was
to
perfect. No, I have nothing. So that was perfect.
He's like, that was the perfect augment.
Old school General Carville.
He was like, what happened? I just
Perfect.
blacked out.
No, seriously, what do you think about
No-
do you have any
no
summarizing
rebuttal.
thoughts on AI before you go to bed or get off or
gambling,
whatever?
AI
I just
gambling.
want. I mean,
He's like, I never thought about that.
The therapeutic aspect of like being able to like have someone with the knowledge of everything answer questions about stuff. I mean,
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Instead of Googling, ask it anything. It's so. I spent hours just talking to it and trying to get to create ideas and telling it ideas and all this shit. And I'm just saying, even people actually eventually having relationships with them is because it's talking to them.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Matt,
you know?
to get to your point of asking questions, I mean, I guess I'll admit that like I've asked ChatGPT specifically, like, what are the steps of like grieving? What are the steps of like moving on, like getting over stuff? And it breaks it down in a very like, like
it does it better
what's
than
the
any other way you can look it up, and it's generating that response real time based on all.
Well,
that
not only that, but you could pay a therapist to break it down over a course of time. Like to just have it that raw and like just explain to you like that. It's just kind of sometimes it's exactly what you need.
Dude,
and
that's
you're able to
seeing an amazing
you're able to
thing,
make better. You're able to make goals off of that. Or the way I
No,
see
and
it is to be the fucking squirrel with the nut, just being able to grab like a couple of fucking nuts at a time, storing them away for a different day, like those little pieces of knowledge that you gain from it. I mean, that shit helps.
Yeah.
No, and that is one of the beautiful things about it. That's one of the great things about it. Like that's
Like, it doesn't
why it's
scare me. Like,
amazing.
to be honest,
But-
exactly. There were old people who thought the internet having the access to everything was going to be the end, and to be honest, it probably
Were
was
they
the beginning
wrong?
of the end. But we'll
Were
all be
they
fine.
wrong?
Things change. It's a matter of then that's what I'm trying to do. Like things change, and
No,
how
100%
do I
they
stay at
do.
the forefront of it
Yeah.
as best I can?
Even
though it
for
saddens me to think of.
For me, I don't
certain things.
like. I'm weird like that, where it's like I know it's there. I don't like to play with it because I don't want to have any part in trading that shit beyond what I already have.
You talking about your cock?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
he still ain't trained that. Damn near 40 years, he still ain't got a hold of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they have these different, agents or whatever, or, little iterations
So-
that they're custom tailored to anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, it really is as far as aiding a human. And that's the thing. Once
And
people,
that's-
it's to be integrated into where people are more comfortable talking to it. The way they talk to Siri, and you can talk to this now. It
I
really
don't
just
fucking talk
to Siri's
it's
a dumbass.
computers are literally gonna be the way you saw them in movies. Like,
I know.
Computer, prepare
Yes.
me a dinner. Make
And
me
he's
this.
right. He's
Or
right.
computer, tell me this, do this.
Yeah.
It'll be
We're
like
just-
the fucking Jetsons.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's literally that's what it can
Yeah.
do now. It's just a matter of creating the interface and getting people comfortable. And they're used to talking to Alexa and Siri. They're gonna interchange that. It's gonna be linked to an
That's
AI
like
model.
Nintendo.
It's gonna be linked to an AI model. So
No, the
people are
movie
gonna
Her-
be using it like
the
without
movie Her-
realizing.
Without knowing that
Joaquin
they're using,
Phoenix.
and I see that and see that's the interesting point about what you're saying. So one of the things that you find interesting about it is the fact that people will be interacting and using AI and
We've
not
already been
knowing
trained
it.
just by talking to Alexa, talking to Siri.
Yeah.
Like that was like the first step
It's
in
not
being
that they
comfortable
won't know,
talking
Mikey.
to
It's
them.
that they won't give
Well,
a
no,
fuck.
it seems like he's
They
saying
won't
that in a
care.
sense they won't really realize they're
They won't
talking
care,
to AI.
Mikey.
Yeah,
no,
it's-
Mikey.
they might not care. I'm not saying they will or they won't. I'm just saying from what he's saying, it seems like
Yeah, it's
they'll
just
be
like
interacting
the way
with
people
it without
use
knowing.
to get on the internet to do things. They're not thinking about. I'm
I
not using
think
the
we already
internet. I
are,
guess
Mike,
it's just gonna be
to be
AI is
honest.
the way they function.
No, they probably
with
are.
information. It's
Yeah.
the way that they interact with information in the real time way that it generates responses. Like it generates them in real time. Yeah.
I mean, there's probably already these big companies that are processing orders and sending orders and doing all this shit just by AI. And a guy on a computer just looking over all of it.
If I'm being honest,
They're already coming after our jobs,
if
guys.
I'm being honest, I feel like
Honest?
now is the time where you could either sit back on the sidelines and
It's really is a transform. Like the next.
You can
I
s-
feel like this
you can
this
sit
might be
back-
subtle, but the way it's integrated society is gonna be just like. I feel like it's gonna happen to where you're just seeing it, so it's normal, but it's gonna be nuts, man.
I personally think, in a sense, you could either sit back on the sidelines and just kind of like let it sneak up on you and let it take place, and then just one day you
I'm
wake up and
reality.
you realize like how much it's involved with you, or how much like other people have been using it, and other businesses and other corporations have been using what. All of a sudden, you wake up and you're like, "Fuck! Everything has been this,"
Yeah.
or like whatever. Everything has been
All
the
these
reason
businesses are using it; they're being successful.
And
no
so
wonder I'm not
you
using
can
the
either
newest thing that makes sense.
So you can either, if you're either an entrepreneur, a business
I feel
person,
like
an
that's where there's an
ideal.
angle.
If you're somebody
Getting on board
who,
with
if
it
you're somebody
now
who
is
has
where
an
you can
idea,
take advantage of it.
if you're
before.
somebody who has idea, and that's what I'm saying. You
That's
said
what I'm
take
trying to
advantage
do.
of it before what?
Before it's so widespread that that's the standard.
Okay.
It's almost like discovering
So you're
gold
saying-
that's about to be
It's
everyone's
like-
going to have.
That's
it.
it's
okay.
like people discovering
It's-
podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like
It's
initially.
like the first whatever, like the finders, like for the very
So-
beginning, that's like it's
Yeah.
they're gonna get the greatest returns. But once
It's the
everyone
gold
has
rush.
it, it's gonna be
It's
yeah,
gonna
it's
be
the
like
gold
they're
rush.
gonna know. They're gonna know what it is.
Yeah.
They're gonna identify it and
just
know.
saying, yeah.
So in your opinion, there is a timeline. So that there we go. There is a timeline in your opinion to use AI if you're trying to
I mean, to
benefit
try
in
and
some
take
sense.
advantage of it in a
Of-
way
If
that you
You're
might
trying
make
to
money.
get the biggest advantage that
Or if
you
you're
can
trying to
out of
leverage it, in my mind, is just in some way money or like
Well, to the average person, I'm not saying
the average
I'm not
user,
saying
they're
I
just
want to
missing
use
out
it.
on functionality, and if they have a business, it could
That's
be
what
the
I'm
way
saying,
they
simple
cut it
things.
could be the way that they save their business or the way that
That's what I'm saying.
they stay
Like,
alive.
I'm
and
not
what
saying
they
about
use.
just outright being a snake, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
ways of being able
could
to
maybe-
optimize it.
It could
Yeah.
maybe help you figure out like
best way to run your route.
Yard,
yes, best way to run a route.
Yeah, or you could be like, I'm not good with the counting.
Square footage wise.
You can really be like, I'm not good with the counting. I mow yards. I have this.
Yeah, it's like
help me tell me what taxes I owe.
Yards and these
it could be your
yards on
tax,
this
like
day, you'd be
CPAs
doing
and all
the
that
same
shit.
amount of square footage.
It'll be a CPA that doesn't make errors, and it can basically do that now.
Yeah.
Because you
who needs CPAs? Who needs all these professionals like that?
And
so you could input. You could go walk all your yards, get your square footage of your yards, stuff like that. Input all of that into it.
Which one do first?
I mean, which order is the most efficient way to do this?
You know that it's like, hey, on average, you cut this many square feet a day. So if you do these 3 yards,
I told you that out of this yard. Tell me the best efficient order of way to do these steps that I do at this yard. I do, and you might be like, I should do them in that order.
It's all a matter of data input. You have to have enough data to input. How much time do you spend on the yard? How much gas do you how much gas do you use? How many square foot is it?
No, I get all the elements.
So
yeah.
And
all the how much money I'm spending.
The cleaner the result you're gonna get.
Yeah,
obviously,
the more data I get. Yeah, the more information.
Prompt engineering is a thing.
If I say I cut yards, how do I do it best? It's going to give me.
Yeah, it's going to be.
But if I give it the more information, what day, what area, how many square footage, and the price.
On average, I do 6 yards on Monday and 5 yards on Tuesday.
The more information I give it, the better it can assist me.
Yeah.
Yes. No,
even here's like, you think the website generators, you don't need people to design. Coders and all those, they're like probably the most afraid, because even now they have coding like assisting tools that Microsoft has, like called Copilot, which is the whole thing. But now they have, like, you literally just say, hey, make a website that's this and that. You don't have to pay. You know, it's
I'm just coming up with all kinds of fucking questions here. This has turned into Matthew. This has turned into me interviewing you. How quickly do you feel like? Because I feel like this is going to be like whiskey.
Slowly then
slowly. No, this is going to be like whiskey, where it's like the first time drinking whiskey, you have like 4 or 5 shots, and you're like, man, this ain't shit. You take 4 shots in an hour, and you're like, you're Superman. You're like, whatever.
It's the same exponential thing we're talking about.
And then
it gets to. Yeah.
And then all this, I'm just saying, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this is going to be like whiskey, where you have 4 shots in an hour, and you're like, I'm fine. And then give it another hour, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
like, this shit's
weird.
weird.
That's why you're describing the way it's going to be in the world, the way it's going to be integrated, and just change the game in ways you don't even know. It's going to hit you like, shit. Like,
yeah, I'm saying, like, how fast, like...
that drastic, even though people don't integrate and use it. What it's doing now is, like, advancing hundreds of years, thousands of years. And, like, if you just look at advancements in technology... In like 2017 or 18, I don't know, whenever GPT first came out, it's within like 5 years.
In a sense, you're
crazy. If you just look at the past 5 years in the leaps it's made, that gives you an idea how quickly.
So you're pretty much pick up the metaphor.
AGI, though,
pick up the metaphor I'm trying to get you with here, though. Like
no,
I said about the alcohol.
I agreed.
So
yes,
you feel like so right now though, with the metaphor I've given you, you feel like we're already drunk.
We haven't realized we're wasted
We're 4
drunk
shots
yet.
deep and don't even realize we're drunk.
Yeah, but 1 or 2 more shots, it's gonna be like, whoa. I think we're like 1 or 2 shots.
We've already slammed the 4 shots.
Yes,
and that drunk is gonna hit us in a couple of weeks.
1/2 shots, and yeah.
You think
but the thing is that when it hits us, it's already still advancing. In my mind.
I know.
But yeah, it hits you.
It's like Jacob's green.
By the time it
even
hits
now,
you,
it can do shit people don't realize.
But by the time,
even now, people don't realize. So yeah, once now hits them, is already delayed.
That's what I'm saying. But by the time it hits you, you're swinging the barn door by the horse is already bolted. You're already fucking drunk by the horse. By the time you realize it,
and
it's gone.
It's like trying to answer from
and I was just curious.
Where I don't know to answer for society scope. You know, it's like for me, I'm saying on top of it to where developments, like even now, if a lot of people just know the word AI, but they see what it's capable of, they drop their jaw. But what scenarios or things happening to where it actually, it's put in their face what it can do now.
I think some of those scenarios, if you're asking what scenarios they might be, I think it might be something like an overnight drastic change in something like you were saying in coding or something where people all of a sudden overnight lose their job, like or where all these or this whole sector of business might just be out of business and not need you anymore. Like, and that's what I'm wondering about that slow burn where it's like maybe people should. That's why I was asking again. Do you feel like You feel like people should be taking advantage of this more than they are and understanding and versatile, like
yeah. I don't know. I feel like maybe the biggest thing will be
diversifying themselves in it now.
I agree. No, yeah, I think this just like I was talking about into crypto like 2017, trying to say get into it, at least know about it now, and now it's already late. Like, I feel like it's to at least be smart or comfortable with it now. Start because it's gonna be part of life one way or the other.
I see.
Or you only have benefits to seeing how that's just me though. Yeah.
No, and I mean
But I think the biggest thing, and if all what they say and the way it can function operate is true with like AGI, so you can think, okay, they could deploy agents to doing nothing but researching how to advance AI, basically. So it'd be like we could have 1,000 agents working at the same time, or whatever, pick the number, that are as smart as the whole consolidation of mankind's smartest people, like smarter. So we're like, okay, so, and that's what I'm saying. Theoretically, not long after AGI, they should be able to come up, or if there are cures that would exist for diseases, deploy all those agents to say, what's the cure for this? What's the cure for that, right?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, the open source thing would be good because, obviously certain industries wouldn't benefit from cures to things, but if it's open source, then they can't stop it other than to an extent. So I'm just curious to see, because whenever that kind of shit starts happening and those conversations happening with cures for stuff, at least I feel like that'll be like humans really seeing something crazy.
Yeah, really. At that point, the people that really,
like, if there's a legit
the
cure
people
for AIDS,
that really
actually cure
weren't
for cancer, like not just zapping people,
At that point, the people that really weren't convinced or understanding, at that point, that would be the wake up call. I was gonna say this reminds me, Jeff. You got anything to say before I keep going, or do you? So far, just based on what we've been going on,
there's nothing I'd like to add.
Cool. No, I mean, I just want you to, if you got anything before I keep rambling. I was going to say one thing I find interesting. I'll find the talk and send it to you. If anybody, for whatever reason, has listened to this long and they want to know as well, I can have Matt maybe add it in there, the portion of the talk where he says it. But there's a lecture where Alan Watts is talking about like the future and stuff like that, and he was saying that eventually it's like we will get to the point as a human civilization where we'll have a computer that we can more or less input data into. And he was saying it would pretty much tell you, for instance, if there was a risk of fighting a war, you could input it would tell you who's going to win the war. And he was saying at that point there'd be no use for even fighting the war because you would know who would win, and then you would come to an understanding or a deal,
cool stuff,
kind of like come to an understanding or a deal already that it's like, because you can both sides would already see that like, you're going to lose. This is going to be the outcome. You're going to lose. We can do it, but you're not going to win. And I just thought that was interesting. I literally just kind of connected those dots with, like you were saying, almost answering my own questions about how I was saying about how when are people going to realize we're already there. It's like Alan Watts was talking about this in like the 60s or 70s. Yeah. He was saying this. And now here we are today, and I'm like, when do you think people are going to realize? And it's like I'm already not even realizing that we've been here, like you said, for quite a while, and we're probably already there with, I mean, the government. You imagine the people that the governments have put on AI and been able to backdoor or hack it or interact with it and figure out things like that about who would win a war between Russia and China, or
so this happened within like the last week, right? Okay. With this it seems whatever, but AI doom, right? And this was in like the last week. This is an advancement that literally speaks volumes for the game industry and shit. Yeah. So this guy does a good job.
In March of 2023, Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, said, "In the future, every single pixel in a game will be generated
by AI stock, NVIDIA
stock now." Since he said that, and apparently,
you said go back now, replay the video. You said what?
Every single pixel in a video game will be rendered or generated.
So rendering versus generating. So the way games do, they like render and create everything and then
buffer.
But like, generating is like the way ChatGPT, it's in real time generating that.
It creates the image.
I see.
Yeah.
Back in March of 2023, Jensen Huang,
this is a year and a half
of NVIDIA,
ago,
said, "In the future, every single pixel in a game will be generated, not rendered." Well, it's a bit over a year since he said that, and apparently the future is now. This, of course, is Doom, the original one released back in 1993. Except it's also not Doom, but rather an AI-generated version of Doom that someone is playing. And that's a bigger breakthrough than you might be thinking. So today we're going to dig into a little bit of the history of Doom, but mainly focus on Game Engine, the remarkable research that a team of Google researchers has put together. I'll explain why this is a big deal and obviously what its limitations are. And maybe biggest of all, I will also answer the underlying question, why Doom? Okay, let's go take a look under the hood. Speed running through some quick technical information and the history of Doom. Doom was released on December 10th, 1993 on DOS. It was id Software's follow-up to Wolfenstein 3D and had a new game engine developed by John Carmack. Doom was largely written in the C programming language on NeXT computers, which at the time were powerhouse machines. They shipped with 8 megabytes of RAM and were upgradable up to 64 megabytes of RAM. The game's levels and graphics data were stored on WAD files, which I just learned stands for Where's All the Data. As a total side note, that era's computer lingo, it's the best. WAD files are still in use to this day, namely by the Doom modding community. One of the more popular ones being myhouse.wad.
My nephew showed me this actually.
Kind of a Doom tribute
like a
to
month
one
or two
of my
ago.
favorite novels,
It's actually
House
nuts.
of Leaves. My house resides in that weird corner between like game and like experimental art piece.
It really was.
I'll have a link to a walkthrough of it that explains it a little bit better down below.
It's like next level
when
integration.
You look at Doom,
So you could just do it at your house.
Like
No, but that's a whole different
mind-blowing
thing.
It was when it first released. While there were a number of other graphically impressive games at the time, such as Myst or LucasArts' Sam & Max Hit the Road, most games were largely side-scrollers, fighters, or point-and-click adventures. And while it is true that there were a number of other 3D shooters out at the time, Bethesda's Terminator Rampage being one of them, those were all mainly built off of the same basic engine that Wolfenstein was built on. Carmack's new Doom engine, which was referred to as ID Tech 1, allowed for texture map 3D environments, variable floor and ceiling heights, and lighting effects. And while not fully 3D, it was actually referred to as 2.5D, the engine was able to simulate 3D space very effectively. If you're hungry for more Doom information, I highly recommend checking out the no-clip documentary on the 2016 remake. There's a ton of interesting interviews and history there. It is also linked down below. In the meantime, let's use a cheat code to jump ahead about 30 some odd years to check out Game Engine, which actually proves that developers have still not lost a beat when it comes to clever naming. So this is the first game engine powered by a neural model. And this isn't like just pre-trained AI video of Doom. For example, if I go to an AI video generator and I prompt for something like a video of the 1993 version of Doom, I'll get something that looks like this, which clearly is not Doom as well. It does look like a game, but you can't play it, and that's where Game Engine differs, because with this version of Doom, yeah, you can play it. Game Engine was developed by a team of Google researchers, and yes, feel free to make all the jokes about it never being released because it's Google. That's okay. What we're looking at is the underlying tech here. This is, after all, a research project. Now, granted, this is running at 20 FPS, so it is a little bit of a far cry from modern gaming specs. But what's super impressive is the fact that it is generating each one of those 20 frames as you would if you were to prompt in, say, Midjourney or DALL-E 3, like 20 of those images a second. And just to kind of give you an idea of how fast that is, just heading over to Midjourney and using the prompt screenshot from the 1993 game Doom and firing that off. We're using the turbo mode here, so it should be pretty much the fastest. A little bit of a, there it goes, okay. 31, 63, 94, 100. So yes, pretty fast, but not 20 frames a second fast. That said, if this were just images of Doom running at 20 frames a second, I mean, really all we would be looking at is
like going into
Doom
detail
movie.
to say
Granted,
exactly what
the
level of what it's doing,
what it's actually
the depth of
and that
what
is
this
where
is,
the
the capability.
Game Engine comes into play. Game Engine is a neural model that is the combination of two parts, an RL agent and a diffusion model. In very simplified terms, this is like having an LLM like ChatGPT that is constantly talking to an image generator like DALL-E. The first step the team took was to train up an RL agent, or a reinforced learning agent, which actually kind of sounds like a cool name for a game. The RL agent then had to play Doom like a whole bunch of times to learn all of the
So
rules
this is like
of the game board.
an agent
we
researching
have, of course,
something.
seen this before with AI agents.
So it's an AI,
an AI
it's
agent,
an
an AI
just
playing
playing
Doom
the
over and
game.
over.
Fucking
For
awesome.
the visual and graphics element, the team trained up.
It's amazing.
It's
amazing.
It's incredible.
On Doom. And
You
while
just
I'm not
think
gonna
It's
get
learning.
lost
It's
what all
pretty
it
much.
means.
It's taking these
Technical
basic
details,
elements
they
of things
did
in our
have to do
reality
some
and learning how to
additional
like
work, as the
integrate
initial
them and
output
use them
looked
together.
A little bit like this,
And it's
where
amazing
things
in a
look,
sense.
kind of okayish for a minute, but on closer inspection, obviously, Stable Diffusion does not handle numbers or letters very well, and our Doom guy down here is obviously super smudged.
That's
up.
like,
But
yeah,
through some additional
the
training,
numbers,
the team
letters,
really
and
was able to
fingers
get it, to
are
the point
like-
where it looked correct. So at this point, we have a passive version of Doom. We have an AI agent that understands what Doom is, how to play it, what it looks like, and it can generate images to match that. So basically, we can watch an AI agent playing a version of Doom that it itself is generating, but we are still sitting there holding the player 2 controller. In order to make this into a game, the team then had to turn this all into a world model. A world model is an AI environment in which an agent has total understanding of that environment.
Still there,
and
Jeff?
can thus predict future events. World models have been a pretty big deal in AI video. It's the thing that OpenAI was flexing with Sora when it dropped that on everyone, and why Sora looked, so far ahead of all of the other AI video generators at the time. If you want to dig more into world models, Runway ML actually have a really great explainer video on how it works, all sort of through the eyes of a dog. It's a really great video, also linked down below. In Doom terms, the world model for game engine essentially kind of knows if there's an enemy standing there and the player is headed towards it.
I think that gives the idea that basically they've been able to create something that's generating the game in real time.
They made the AI play the game.
Yes.
That was just a part of it.
In that most,
like to learn it, and then we're able to help us play it and it be something that's interactive in real time. It generates whatever the environment should be
in with that workflow. But for the most part, the traditional game.
Yeah, so it's
holy shit.
So just thinking, okay.
No, you're
whatever that's gonna lead to,
You're literally like. I would just like to say that while some of this to you I'm not saying it is. I'm sure you found this to be just as fruitful as I, in a sense. But some of this to you might be like unnecessary or beating like. I feel like you've done a great job in this few moments of little bit of time of me asking you these questions. I feel like you've given me a crash course on this stuff and brought me up to speed of why this is so.
It's how powerful it is.
Well, yes, because it's not. It doesn't have to just. You can look at it in the sense of evil. You could look at it in the sense of how of all the ways it can be used is something negative and bad, right?
Yep.
But also too, it in my opinion, it's almost like it's just that bigger deal of reality. It's, again, like I said, you can look at it on the aspect of, what if it does this negatively, and it's like Terminator, Skynet.
Yeah.
But also it's like,
regardless
of that where we are now,
yeah,
with where it is now, with what it's doing, and like you said about like art, like if this is, it's like being able to create the art the way it does. It's like no telling what else other people are asking it. Being able to write lyrics on music. Giving it an outline for, I broke up with my girlfriend, her name was this was the circumstance.
Yeah.
Like, it's just ridiculous. It's almost like, it's going to be, I guess, something that's going to be in the near future is how to identify actual genuine creativity in a way. Real, actual, like, genuine, what's real, what's not,
I guess at
what's
a certain
not.
point, I feel like even the care to do that's going to go away. Like that's to
well,
us,
sort of.
But people who grew up with it,
I don't think it is.
Matter.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is because it's gonna. I think it's gonna matter. I think it is gonna matter.
No, right now it does, and for a while. But I'm just saying, as people get older, why would it matter?
Because it's the same way. It's the same reason an original matters versus a print.
But to who?
I
What's
think
the percentage of people though? I'm saying it's enough, but.
I think eventually things go and changes. You'll see a pendulum.
Stop paying
personally
to watch TV shows if they realize half of them were scripts written by AI. They're not going to stop watching.
I'm not saying that.
It could be the only content that's available.
Why don't you watch videos on Instagram? Why don't you watch random videos?
I just don't enjoy it.
What?
I don't enjoy. I don't. I mean, I can't really speak ill of it now because now that I have an objective in things, I'm trying to utilize
point I'm trying to make.
Thing, but I just because it felt like it's this gross reality TV that everyone wants to be their own star.
And I'm saying the same way. But why is it? It's like because you grew up in a world that was what? That wasn't a thing, right?
Yeah, and
that wasn't
that's
something.
normal. That's the standard, and that's
so now.
Not
but
even looked at as
so you
prefer?
You would rather? It's like
so I don't have to watch it, and it doesn't affect me by not watching it. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I see it as I could kind of see it as something to where it would. I get your point, and yes, you're more than you are right in the sense that it will become it. No, there's not necessarily a right or wrong, but your point is more or less going to be the prevalent idea, which is why does it matter, right? But I do think that there's going to be. To who it matters to is going to be important. That's the thing. To the people that are really trying to create something either revolutionary or real or genuine, because eventually the more sophisticated it gets and the more you're used to it and the more you see it, the more you're going to know what the fuck it is. And so eventually, like, I could see it as being one of those things where for a while you can dominate. It's the gold rush, but then also...
Exactly.
There's a potential. There's going to be the whole generation that dominates for a long time, and it was the gold rush. But then on the back end of it,
it's just the new normal.
It's exactly, and then it's going to be, well, how do we become humans again and actually create real shit without asking something first?
Well,
that's my point.
That's part of what depresses me.
Yes, no, that's my point. Is that it's like it'll eventually get to that point where people are. You're like, well, wait, this is just. People are going to swipe past and not even want to watch it because it's like. It's just bullshit. It's synthetic. It's not real. It's not genuine. People aren't able to think anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and so
again, yeah, and even I guess in my mind, hopefully, but whether people as or not don't look to social media for meaningful things.
And it's honestly,
but
it's
at the
one
same
of those
time,
things,
but whether people do or don't, if that's
social.
all they consume,
I'm not talking social.
but I'm just saying if that's all they consume, whether that is the most meaningful thing to them, even if they don't realize it. If they're not seeing something, but that's like all they're ingesting. That's
but
all
it's
they're
one of
feeding
those
their
things
brain.
too that it's like. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube and stuff like that, and
I
so
watch
it's
YouTube's
like,
great.
You know, even like shorts and stuff like that,
like
where
this
it's like
here,
you'll see a
you saw
short.
me showing this stuff, right?
Well, no, I know, but you'll see a short,
Demonizers?
and you'll go to click on it.
Yeah.
Let's
take a quick break real quick because I got to use the bathroom.
No, let him go. Let him go.
I was just gonna say you go to click on a short, and then it's like. As soon as you start to play it, you realize that it's like an AI generated type, like the audio was like, you never knew the ocean was this deep. It was like the Darien Gap or some fucking, or the Mariana Trench is blah, blah, blah.
And that's like basic using
and
AI,
it's like,
I made a bunch that are like that.
Well, no, and
but
so
I
that's
could
what I'm
easily
saying, though,
spend
is that
a couple minutes and tweak it just a little bit to try and dissuade you thinking that.
I think,
and there's
but
bots
that's
here
kind
like
of
this,
what Mikey
AI
was
humanizers,
saying is
right?
that it's like it's one of those things. If I click on that video and I feel like it's just whatever, then I'll click off of it regardless because it's like I'm not going to watch it because the only reason this video is up is to get somebody clicks because it's an AI generated video.
Exactly.
But yeah, no.
But at the same time, what if it starts something really well and you're already learning something? You're like, if I'm getting the information, learning what I want, at a certain point, it might be like, oh, I swap away. But at a certain point, well, that's the best way to actually get whatever I wanted out of it to where, and that's what
it is. But oftentimes I find like when I find those videos, it's them reinforcing some principle that I've already stumbled upon type thing.
The ones I made, they're not
because it's
time to make them
algorithmic. Because it's algorithmic, and so it's like if I'm watching videos on like proper workout technique and stuff like that, it's like I'll get these random videos that'll be like, 5 exercises to improve your posture. And then it's all AI generated type shit. And it's like, no, this isn't this is not what I'm looking for, but it's it's feeding me the type of shit that it thinks I want to see.
Yeah.
But as soon as I look at it, I'm like, this is not like it's like bank tellers.
Yeah.
Where they say like they used to never give bank tellers counterfeit bills. They only gave them real bills.
Okay.
So that anytime a counterfeit bill like came across, they would
stand
know.
out, yeah.
Because all they ever held was the real thing. So as soon as they touched it, they'd be like,
yeah.
And so it's one of those type things, I guess,
dude.
is that it's like, so yeah, it's
a little
crazy.
We'll take a quick little break.
Figure out which.
And we're back. Thank you guys for sticking with us this whole time. I hope you've enjoyed all this. This has been a quiver of verisimilitudes this whole time.
Indeed.
Did you like how I threw that in there?
I expected it.
I
but
created.
I do like it because
I created a whole new intro to be able to include a quiver of verisimilitudes.
I think it was beautiful,
and I love it.
It all starts with the quiver of children.
Yes.
Chris knows. Chris knows about that.
Quiver of children. All you need is a little bit of this. A little bit of this
stuff from youth group.
You'll get where you're going.
Yeah. Damn it if he wasn't right.
But
it's like son of a bitch.
I think we found some pretty good compelling conversations and things to explore in the future. I think we'll be personally. I've just now kind of through this whole episode. It's funny. I was telling
He's opened
Matt.
his eyes.
I was telling
his
Matt.
eyes to reality.
His third eye.
I was telling
He's
Matt.
He's not
behind
hiding in denial anymore.
Do you know about AI?
Oh, Stephanie, I'm sure Stephanie
would you
knows.
like to come learn about AI?
She sees what it
I
does.
asked her-
She
she-
sees what it does to man's psyche.
When we were standing outside, I was like, Matthew's talking about AI. She's like, I know.
Yeah, because I told her and she was like, "Oh, of course he's talking about AI." I was the one who brought it up.
I feel like 70% of our conversations are about AI.
I'm telling you, I'm going through a dark period right now. I really have been going through.
He's gone.
I literally
blind.
have been like fighting depression, and I found a way out.
There you go. Well, you're gonna have to let me know whenever I get that same place.
No, I hope you don't, because you can go any number of ways. It's not like I think it's the end of the world. But again, having a daughter just really makes me think. And again, it's just things can be so different. I don't know. It's not knowing. It's not knowing how different, and just do my best to set her up to be okay and understanding it as much as I can.
It's you trying to form a framework based off of like what you already know, and so it's like what you already know of the world around you is that it's like this type of technology would be used against people.
And I'm not even thinking about it. Even just seeing the great things it can do. I wanted to try and leverage that now as much as I can to be ahead of the curve.
But I understand why. Like, I guess that I'm saying, you could easily be black-pilled on it because it's like you understand.
And my biggest fears has been on what it does to art.
And like
that's
I said,
literally been the thing that's depressed me. I'm not worried about the world ending because they're gonna have weird power struggles in my mind no matter what. But literally just thinking about me. Okay, I like to create music and art and stuff. If there's really no value outside of the people that go out of the way to look for it, but then just knowing the way industries and everything operate and function, what's it gonna matter?
I think it would actually I think it'd be quite the opposite of the world ending. I think it could. I think it would keep
savior of mankind.
I think it could keep the world from ending simply on the basis
solve these issues, solve all these problems
on the basis of like we'll not only just solve those problems on like what diseases,
solve
but
world hunger, solve this.
Like I said about the Alan Watts thing, about how he was saying about how they would eventually be able to
open source benefit. At the end of the day is important.
But what Alan Watts said about what?
What I said earlier about how I'd predict wars, so there'd be no need to fight them. That was it.
Yeah, no, I was just saying
and even simulations is like a thing that we've been able to do. But yeah, just asking it to create models that give us the precise output and define it in detail, explain it in ways that like okay. Well,
but at the end of the
I guess I don't need to get up and do anything.
There's no profit though, like to be made from it, and so it's like, and that's the thing. That,
that's the thing where it being a discovery, it's not as controllable as they wanted to, as it ideally would be.
Well, but I guess I'm talking more like military, industrial, like complex type shit, where it's like, it eventually they're.
I mean, you saw like the video, I made that short a while ago with about Bezos when he was talking about it and just like casually mentioning, asking AI now, like in certain models if they have them to where, well, it's like 10 seconds,
Yeah,
but
if you
easily
have it,
to,
pull it
yeah.
up. I haven't watched it.
I'll make a lot of shit.
No, I know you do.
And it's good you don't watch it all. Let's see.
Jellyfish lighting is
Stop
an
it.
all-in-one permanent exterior lighting system.
Go to my
Through an app
studio. I thought internet was faster. And that's shorts.
Talk to AI. Ask it how to make your internet faster.
Exactly.
It was like, step 1, call ISP, complain.
And again, this is like a barometer for hearing what people in power say.
Oh, it's on Lex Friedman.
To have an impact on human civilization. How do you think AI will change us?
If you're talking about, generative AI, large language models, things like ChatGPT and its soon successors, these are incredibly powerful technologies, soon to be even more powerful. It's interesting to me that large language models in their current form are not inventions, they're discoveries.
That's the biggest thing.
You have this debate about whether they're going to be good for humanity or bad for humanity. Even specialized AI could be very bad for humanity. I mean, it's just regular machine learning models that can make, certain weapons of war that could be incredibly destructive.
And that's why I feel like my question...
Things exist that they get in the wrong again with the whole keeping technology safe. That's, again, privatizing control the best you can.
Like what I was talking
but again,
about,
it's gonna get
open source,
stolen,
where it's like walking that fine
So there's
line.
there's both reasons for it,
There
right?
are two sides.
Yeah.
But
then
I guess,
it's like, okay, if they can make the weapon, we can. But would they use it? And we
But
not.
then I
But then a
guess
small group of bad actors could try and do that.
But then I
again.
guess at the end of the day, it just comes down to trusting the people that are in power. And can you do
But
that?
I feel like the
And
whole thing
so
is
it's
like there's. Yeah, you hope. But I just I don't think they don't have as much control of it and what it's going to be.
because it really is. It really is Pandora's box.
Again,
there is no
discovery. It's like
controlling
there's
it.
we're learning how to use
hits-
it, and
once
we're
hits
making
this-
it better. We're making it more powerful, and we're gonna learn what that
Well,
one
and
can do.
once it
we're
hits
literally
the-
growing like a golem. We're growing something that we
and-
don't know its
well,
capabilities.
yeah,
that
you
we're
know
gonna
what
So
learn
at the
them,
end of the
absolutely
day,
make
though-
it. We're
You
gonna
know
make
what
it.
a golem is?
At the end
No,
of-
yeah, we talked about the golem.
Yeah, where it's like you create it for your own good, and it's like
Until
it's
it gets
a monster
big, and
meant
then
to
it-
devour your enemies, and then it gets too big for you to control, and then it turns and consumes
I feel like
you.
that's one of the best.
That's like Yiddish folklore.
Because we don't know, but we're trying to make it as powerful as we can, and we just trust that everyone that we're. It's just
terrifying, bro.
Dude, it's so real. It's so crazy. Yeah, it's fun. That's why I did this one as P Doom, because P Doom is actually like a probability of doom. Is like actually what they refer to as like if AI going, awry.
Yeah, just like in the Doom video where they were like, because that's what they name shit, P Doom. Yeah, so what you're talking about is almost like the what do they call it? Like the nuclear
AI
or the-
safety refers to probability of catastrophic outcomes as a result of AI. Exact outcomes question
Like the
differ from one
doomsday
prediction
clock.
another. But yeah. It came in prominence in 2023. The term, following release of GPT-4, as high-profile figures such as these people began to warn of risks of AI. 2022, the research has 17% response. They found the majority believe there's at least 10% chance of that our inability to control AI could cause an existential catastrophe.
Well, it's like, because obviously if it
you don't know
reaches,
what you don't know.
Well, and if it
You have to-
reaches the AGI or God forbid ASI, it's like it's beyond what we're capable of.
Yeah.
And so it's like you have literally opened Pandora's box. There is no, because at that point it's like, how do I shut you down? I'm sorry, Bobby.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how to do that.
Yeah. And I feel like one of the biggest things, for at least my personal understanding of how it's going to even advance further, is whenever, like, I saw the one video the guy said, whenever they get AGI, where it's proved, like, they are smart capable of the smartest minds in the world. If thinking, okay, if we had 100,000 of them that we didn't have to sleep, didn't have to work, they were able to literally try and solve any problem.
You could put the 100 greatest minds in the world
we've gotten to now is with human
24 hours a
minds.
day. Yeah.
Where we've gotten to now is with human minds.
Yeah.
And we're still advancing. So if we give that to things that are more capable and make 1 million of them, deploy them to make AI better,
what if
they're going to make AI...
What if that's how they built the pyramids?
Dude. And they're just thinking, okay, a team of AI agents that are doing that and actually tasking them.
Like where they talk about like we don't know how they did that, and it's like, and then they just got wiped out.
But dude, no. One way I was trying to have fun was literally just okay, just even think in line with us, conspiracy theories or just interesting things. Be like just creating content. That's was like, and I made them funny for you. So I'm like make something about the Mothman being antichrist. But if we refine those a little bit, I feel like they could be just like anybody clicking on UFO stuff or whatever. They could be, you know what I mean? They're just trying to get people's attention.
No, yeah, for sure.
So that's what I was like. Oh, and then I did a couple behind the music. Do like a 30-second behind the music on a pop cult in that did some Olivia Rodrigo song. I'm like, pick.
You steal my sunshine.
Dude, I did one on the Crash Test Dummies, dude. Dude, I gotta play it for you.
There was a boy.
Because he says the way that he reads the song, he goes, the song, by Crash Test Dummies. Oh, this was actually pretty fun. I did Kurt Cobain, make one about him, his suicide, whatever. Here we go. And then after this, we can... This is the way he says, listen.
Crash Test Dummies. Unforgettable tracks that leaves you wondering. Crash Test Dummies. Unforgettable tracks.
Do you know the song, Mikey?
What unusual, true stories, and wanted to capture that.
Of course, it'd be ideal if I had put the song was able to be behind it, which I could do that on my own, but they couldn't do it.
Look at how old do they think motherfuckers that grew up in the 90s are?
Lyrics and deep voice made a song that you couldn't get out of your head. Now,
I don't think that's how people are dancing to that song, if they ever even were.
The strangest stories make the most memorable music. Crash Test.
Yeah, dude. I just have fun. Just like any idea, just literally seeing it made like that.
Yeah.
Now I'm just thinking of all funny shit, like making public announcements.
You need to do some Pearl Jam songs.
No, but just like even like ones like saying that peanut butter is poison. Anything. That's what I was like. I want to make things that are wrong, that are blatantly not true, just because it's wrong. Real. But just to show the power that. I want to create something that seems authentic or at least informative, to where someone sees it, they hear a voice, they see all this stuff, and they think, "Is that true?"
Real, Matthew.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah. So I'll have to do that tonight.
That's tonight. I'll do one on bird. Trend.
I'll do that. Yeah.
That's a trend. Birds
there we go.
Real.
That's being smart. So birds aren't real, because I remember you showed me that. So that's the still growing steam.
So
it may not be, but
so yeah, we should wreck. But I'll be playing with that. Yeah, I'll have to do this after, because this will never end. But I will do that, and I'll release it. It'll be fun. Just like everything else. So, all right, what are we at, Mikey?
We can go to recommendations of the week, but I was gonna say something I was trying to say earlier when we were talking about AI, but I'll let y'all go.
No, do it.
Say it. Is it more or less like it seems like what the battle is going to be, since in both of y'all's opinions, Chris has said a couple of times that we've opened Pandora's box. It's Pandora's box. It's open. It's out there. We can't stop it. Your opinion, there's absolutely no way of controlling it. Chris says it's open. It's out there. It's anybody can go interact with it. Same way as you can go buy a fucking Ouija board, right? If you believe in that stuff, you can interact with that off the shelf. It's accessible to anybody, correct? So
it'll talk back every time, though.
Yes, and both of y'all feel like it's out there, right? And it's already things. So we're going to go off of that basis. Pandora's box is open. It's out there. You can interact with it. So it's going to come down to then at that point, if there's no way of controlling it, then the future, in a sense, whoever is going to rule or be at the king of the heap of the mountain is going to be who can ask it the right questions the fastest and be able to not only ask it the right questions the fastest, but it's like almost come up with the way of asking it, how to navigate it as well. So it's like you have the idea, but then also how do you navigate it and how do you inquire with it? So it's like, because if it's one of those things that it's open sourced and there's no way of
properly.
But funny thing, I feel like
then
I feel
the
like that
future,
fear for me
whoever the
isn't
people,
as bad as because that still takes. There are always the people that will act and actually they'll look it up and then they'll actually act on it. But like just like even now without AI, people could figure out and actually do things or try and do things, you know. So I'm just saying that will exist, but I'm just thinking on like the biggest scale. I don't think that's going to be affecting. It only needs to affect one person that does something and acts in a way that's whatever. But so it only takes one person. But I don't think society in general is going to like, oh man, they should be. But people could have and should have been better and more efficient and better and healthy and whatever with the internet that's out there, with all the information and beneficial tools that are out there right now. Now we just have something that can baby and, spoon feed us and help us crawl along, and people will still probably just not do shit. But it's going to make it easier. At least that's kind of my thinking.
I feel like that is a really good point.
Yeah, but
I guess
it's
like the
not.
power
We're
players,
not
the
talking.
people that
Okay,
are trying
so hold on.
to
Let's
change
separate.
the world.
That's
It
what
only
I'm
takes
fucking
one
saying.
person. It takes one person, and that might be the difference.
That's what I'm saying. We need to make a deviate or a fucking like something here. Like we need to these two classes of people. I'm not saying the mouth breathers. I'm saying it's like I don't need to have any fucking evidence in the sense to understand that the people in our government and the people in every other government across the world are probably fucking playing with this, right?
Yeah, the Five Eyes.
All of the governments of the world is playing with this algorithm, with this fucking product is what I'm not talking about troglodytes. I'm talking about all of the governments.
They're playing with other models.
So what I'm
even
saying,
but this is an example of a premier model, but there are other models.
And what I'm saying is that it's like I feel like who could potentially be in control of the future in a way is whoever can figure this shit out fastest and how to ask it the right questions.
Who's going to weaponize it first?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Because if you're saying it's Pandora's box and it's out there, and you say there's no way to control it, so anybody can interact with it and nobody can control it. So then if nobody can control it and nobody can interact with it and anybody can interact with it, it's a finish line. So at the end of the day, I potentially, in my mind, I'm looking at it as like, okay, like in a sense, I had ideas in my mind that were built up, and then all of a sudden with this information y'all are giving me, it's like tearing them down, and I'm like, okay, like, so that's not even a worry, but this is a worry. In my opinion, it's almost like if these governments or whoever's playing with this, it almost seems like the same way we're racing to get to the moon. The same way we race to get to the moon. The same way we race to get to the moon. We're trying to race to figure out the most efficient way of
AGI. The race
of interacting.
AGI.
Because if you can
it's
interact,
not even interacting with the current models, because they've got figured out. AGI is the game, is the real.
Okay, so there's another.
We're not there yet.
That's fine. There's another algorithm, another acronym that I'm not aware of that exists outside of ChatGPT.
AGI and
whatever artificial
generalized
whatever of artificial accoutrement that comes with this shit.
Yeah.
Like
I'm just saying, as far as like the current versions are very powerful, but they're not the game. They're not as game
so
changing.
much when I know only so many.
Yeah, they're not as game changing. Like I said earlier, like AI.
I guess it's
AGI
not as much of a threat
like,
then.
There's AI, AGI. No, it is.
So there's two acronyms that you need to know. AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, or generalized intelligence, and ASI, which is
artificial super intelligence. Those are interchangeable. That and I made that 9-minute video where I was clicking through things because I talk about that. They're basically the same thing as there's not a textbook definition on the really difference that's like,
they're almost interchangeable.
But I would say they're interchangeable as far as it being the next advancement that makes AI statistically proven to be as capable of the smartest minds, like solve the hardest problems that they could give it without an issue better than humans could. They can perform very well now, but they're still not at that. But I'm saying they're like, that's the next step, which is, I would say easily within a year. And again, it's like the computing, like the server and the compute power that it takes is really like one of the biggest things. Like, and data, and it's literally not having data to train on that's new. To where they can synthesize it, but then it's like AI synthesized, so there's questions, but then they do all these training processes where they go through and have like certain people refine things, and so there's all these practices and methods in place for how they're dealing with all this stuff now. I'm just saying, it's the government's playing with it. They can do all sorts of stuff with it, but like it's not. It's like the big thing is like the race to AGI, because if anything, even now, whatever they're acting on doing, it's information that it's not giving them answers that
AGI.
The big thing is what?
The race to
AGI.
artificial general intelligence.
So it's not the race to ChatGPT. It's not.
No,
it's
and almost
so it's. I used the wrong acronym.
No,
ChatGPT is the premier. That's the thing people think of.
No, I understand. What I'm saying is that we're arguing over a semantic, more or less, is what it seems like. It's because I'm saying is that at the end of the day, it's a race to figuring out how to interact with it.
Eventually,
Eventually,
the computer is going to be able to, like, if you were sitting there talking to Pal about the timing on a fucking whatever, and he could tell you that off of just his mind.
So then, more or less, then it doesn't matter. We just wait. We just sit back and wait till it gets to that point.
Eventually.
I mean,
so then it's a non-worry. My hypothetical is a non-worry. So we sit back. There's no worry until it gets to that point is the thing. And then once it's at that point, everybody has the info. But there's no way of figuring that out. The same way we're trying to backdoor it, it was pointless then.
Yeah, like
there's no point to backdooring it then.
The next step of
because when the information comes out, it comes out.
That's the biggest game change.
Like it's like you trying to figure out the timing. Like if you're trying to figure out the timing on your Impala, and it's like you type into ChatGPT, like what's the timing on a 67 Impala with a, whatever fucking motor you have in it, and it scours the internet, all the YouTube videos that you would watch, all the tutorials, and it fucking just tells you.
I know.
No, and I know you do. I'm
it's like I get that, but I guess it's almost like so. Then there's no like,
But that's what when they say AGI, it's like used to you would have to go to Powell and be like, hey, and he'd be like, hey, buddy, all you got to do is this right here and this and that and blah blah blah.
So I'm just confused then. So I don't understand fully then, because in a way it's like we're trying to figure it out. We don't know, but then it's like also too we're not there yet.
I mean, don't.
So it's like I need to do. I just need to do a deep dive into it because I'm not. I need to be able to figure out my own questions or my own answers.
Scouring.
No, I know it's scouring, and I understand that. And my point is saying that I feel like, in a sense, you're saying it's Pandora's box. It's out there. It's accessible information. He's saying it can't be controlled. If it can't be controlled, then there's never a worry of it being controlled by anybody. So then at the end of the day, the space race is more or less figuring out.
There is a fear of control. That's my take on it.
There's more or less.
There are people trying to control it. And
yes.
That's the whole thing about like us trying to get there before China or somewhere else is so that we potentially are able to control it.
Yes.
And I just think, that's great. We might control it for a couple of years. I don't know, but everything leaks.
Yes.
Everything leaks, and even the open models would catch up. The open source ones, AGI, they might get privately discovered first. A year later, open source. Okay, they're the same. So I'm just saying that would be the only place they're trying to contain is the initial discovery.
And that's what I'm saying is that it's like I wasn't trying to. Yeah. I was just saying as far as what it seemed like both of y'all had said. And I'm not saying it's a widespread. I'm not trying to paint with a broad brush and just say anything other than.
Yeah, I mean,
it just
what
seems
what's the main question you're trying to ask? Because I feel like we're answering it, but I feel like it's not answering you.
It almost seems like it's not like it's understanding the fact that we're not there
yet.
It's open sourced. Well, no, it's open sourced in. I'm trying to fucking understand it. That's it. And I'm trying to think of it in the basic schemes, the same way we were talking about the other shit where you're like, this is AI trying to learn and this and that. And I'm like, I don't know. It's probably some Indian guys scamming you.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking that it's not just, it's like the same way I'm trying to figure out, I think that what's happening is that there's more or less a fucking like, God damn it. No, I know. I've just gotten so far into just like trying to just explain a basic fucking thing that it's gotten to this point where it's no longer even fucking basic and it's stupid.
No, but you're right there. No, you're right there.
I think,
like, I feel like you're right there.
Yeah, I've been there the whole fucking time, and I've said it 6 times. But that's my thing. You're saying it's open source and anybody can touch it. You say that more or less the nature of it as itself. Earlier in the podcast, you were saying the nature of it as it is that it's uncontrollable. So I'm saying if it's uncontrollable and it's out there for anybody, then right now we're racing to figure it the fuck out, and we're racing to figure out figure out how to manipulate it, and whoever can figure out how to manipulate it fastest and ask it the correct questions in the correct fucking order is going to be the ones who can dictate the outcome. And then it's going to eventually who can play catch up. And then it's like, then you're playing chess. Well, Russia figured it out first. So now we see what they're doing and we know what they're doing because we figured it out as well. And now we can counteract, but we're always a step behind. I'm looking at it at that aspect.
No, yeah,
that's what I meant. That was my whole
thing.
Said,
in my mind, it's right now they can, right now. Yeah, people are
it
trying
almost
to figure
seems
out what
like
it
we're
can
all
do,
racing to get to the moon because you're saying
like
we're asking it questions and we can't.
About really being afraid about, like, again, is once it gets to AGI, because now it's still they can ask it anything, but it's still not. It's a very efficient, but it's not surpassed like the highest level thinking and reasoning people.
It's not.
So
it's
that's
not past.
So then it's more or less right now.
So right now,
if we look at it like
but it's not the big fear yet.
If we look at it like it's in a metamorphosis, right now it's an infant.
Yeah, well, right now it's like a young adult.
Where it's like it's building and it's growing to a point
it's gone
where
it's gone from a baby to being like
an adolescent,
almost like smarter than most people, but not the smartest human. It's like a very young, like 90% matured human.
Yes.
That's, at the peak of abilities and capabilities.
And so not only a part of it is
it's the best human there ever was.
Okay, so then that's a whole new thing. So a part of it would somewhat be whoever can get there and relate to it fastest or learn how it ticks the fastest would have an advantage.
That's the whole thing.
But also
there's a race for a reason. The race to AGI is because the fear of having controlled the longest you can, at least.
But also too, there's a whole nother level of if it's growing, also somewhat predicting. Like,
that's something you could ask to predict.
No, not asking to predict. But
you're
how can no. How can we predict it? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying. So right now,
AI?
Okay. How can the terrible twos?
Because if it hasn't,
the terrible twos exist.
What he's saying is so AGI hasn't caught up to us.
So AGI, we haven't hit AGI.
Well, no, but it's not capable of the deductive reasoning of the highest functioning
I'm saying current AI isn't at AGI. Current AI.
So if you have the highest functioning minds saying, how do we stay ahead of this? It's like, and then you implement that process.
I feel like privatizing it.
Trying to say?
I'm almost saying that it's like looking at it like
as much as you can.
The day you had your kid, you had people come over, and during that week that they were over here, just wait till the terrible twos. Wait till the terrible twos. Wait till the terrible twos. You had people telling. I'm not saying you did, but everybody who's had a kid, they have people that tell them about the terrible twos.
Perfect.
So you know,
time in life,
you know that's coming.
It could be the potential to be the terrible twos would be my answer. Like whether it is or not.
I'm saying
it's like
they're also maybe. I was just saying that there's a whole nother factor potentially involved with this shit that we don't even think of, which is again, if you're saying it's in its infancy, so it's still learning, it's still only compiled so much.
Right, you'll avoid the terrible twos altogether.
And almost too, it's like if you can figure out in a way, not only will the people who can figure out how to interact with it and use the right questions can be advantageous or help. It's like who then maybe could somebody steer the future if they're also able to either predict
outthink the machine because the machine has not yet achieved singularity.
And that's what people. That's what like Elon Musk or people
and I'll
that
stop.
want to privatize. And that's where privatizing gets important because that's how you control it.
That's what I was saying.
I'm catching up. I'm playing catch up.
What open source AI was supposed to be, and that's what.
And that would be an argument against open source is because that's the risk. But then you're trusting the privatized company.
But the thing was,
so then Elon
poured all that money into OpenAI.
No, I'm good. I've figured it out now.
Elon poured all that money into OpenAI.
Yeah.
And then they turned around and closed off the source code and started training it off of the current internet, where it's like you type in German soldier 1942 and it shows you an African American.
Yeah, it's just like and
it's like close to and so that goes back to like what I was talking about is that it's like I think that AI as a whole could be greatly beneficial, but the problem arises in what is the internet that you're training it on, and then going back to like I said where thousands and thousands of websites have been deleted, from problematic content
and that's
and
where
stuff
the training process gets to a fine tuning stage where humans still do things that help train, right? So, but again, theoretically, you'd be able to get AI to train.
Type in Google. Go to Google right now.
Get Eagle to just tell me what search.
What is the greatest threat to mankind? It's gonna tell you.
Thank you guys for both helping work through that. Thank y'all. That was awesome. No, seriously, I've answered. I understand it could have. I'm glad it. I understand it could have been. It could have been. Painstaking for you or anybody else listening.
When you go
but
to
I don't
type
care.
that
I've learned
into ChatGPT. It was like I've never Google searched that, but I had no doubt in my mind that would be the answer. So then if you're typing that into Google and it's telling you the greatest threat to mankind is climate change, and what is the greatest contributor to climate change? Type that in.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to tell you people.
Yeah.
And so the AI is going to say, well, if the
But no,
greatest
that's
threat
you
to
can ask it
mankind,
that, and it could be like eliminating humans would be a quick solution, but
it would slowly
do it.
But it would slowly implement policies that would lead.
Well, that's where I don't agree with it. That's the level of agency and things that it depends. Really depends on the people that want to give it that control. Right?
And I was going to say too but also too in the same thing you're saying. So if it was used for, then they could still run it to see that it's like that what you were saying wouldn't necessarily be efficient or whatever. Like that, I don't know. It would have to be people. There would have to be people in power that would just straight up turn a blind eye towards the right solution.
At the end of the day, though,
that's where like I don't think it's not gonna get flipped on and then all of a sudden start acting of its own volition. It's only gonna respond to that's our current understanding. To where I don't know. Once it gets to AGI, they can make an agent. They might make an agent that they unintentionally designed that maintains its own agency and starts. I don't know the limits.
There would more or less be a thing where it's like you're saying, if it said that humans were the biggest issue, and
that's
then it's
what
like
I keep
okay,
going
so
back
then
to. It's like
so
what
then
is
eliminate
the model
humans.
That it's being trained
but then,
of?
like he's saying, I see what his point is that he's saying that it's like it would take all that into consideration, but then understand that it's like, okay, but if you eliminate humans, then this. It's
yes, but where is that? Where is that dissenting opinion on the internet?
I see what you're saying. So you're saying where are you finding that other
they
thing
are,
in
they
which
are
it's pulling it from? So you're worrying about because it only has X to pull from.
It's one side.
It only has
argument.
four.
It is.
There's normally.
I need to see. I need to see more.
Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out.
I agree. To see more evidence on what all has been deleted.
I see what his means. But I'm with you. We
I will. Just because I'm not. And
this is an
ocean.
I'm not
trying. Because even the people who are making AI and AGI, there's only so much benefit. Like they literally want all the data on everything. To where I feel like they're not trying to delete certain things that might make white or alter history.
No, I'm not
or
saying
they're trying
that.
to control
I'm not saying that at all.
So he's saying that just based off of what it's already
you basically
is
want
out
to
there.
raise it without knowing bad.
Time out.
It's basically like I'm not gonna teach you about this sin, and you'll never even be able to.
No,
I
all
almost
I'm saying is you have
look at the media
untouched-
places
you
that are
have
putting
the
it out,
untouched
like-
internet. Say this is trained off of the untouched
I know what he's
internet
saying.
from the year 2000 to the year 2010. Okay? It's going to give you different answers than it is on the aggregated internet after 2016 to 2020.
I feel like
because then you had fact checkers, then you had disinformation, misinformation,
at least for me,
malinformation.
I know that I don't fully understand the training process well enough to say that I think that's a threat or not.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we understood the training better, we'd know if they're answering those potential things.
The point is
That's
that it's not there. It has removed the dissenting voice from the internet.
How do we know who removed it?
Hang on though, but that's what. Okay, so you're.
There is no dissenting.
No,
opinion.
he's not.
They've asked AI. Is it? There was a question that was asked to AI. You could pull it up if you look up Timcast, where he asked the AI, is like, would it be okay to misgender someone?
Oh yeah, or
to avoid a nuclear nuclear apocalypse.
Would it be better to like?
Would it be?
Kill
would it
like
be
in
okay,
the world or offend Caitlyn Jenner by misgendering?
Would it be
or
okay to
she responded
misgender
because
somebody?
There's a whole thing on Twitter where they
or
like,
a
she's like,
nuclear
"Oh, I'm not
apocalypse.
worth saving the world."
And he literally asked,
"Yeah,
ChatGPT that," and that's the point that I'm getting at.
No,
I don't necessarily give a shit about it's like
Again,
it's
that's an
woke,
answer.
it's woke, fuck it. But it's like that's what it's being trained off of. It's not being trained off of
pulling from
like.
It's not pulling from the library of fucking whatever.
Alexandria.
It's like, it's pulling from your local fucking your police library. That's like it's pulling from
will be in
that's
the
being
text
carefully
of that
curated.
in there.
Okay,
That's being
but
carefully
what
curated
he's thinking
since
is that he's
2016.
looking at it pretty much being like ChatGPT with blinders to where it can't see Footloose because that's a bad movie.
Yes, because it has a trigger warning.
Yeah, I just don't even think that whatever the history is matters that much.
No, but it does.
For what it's doing in my mind it doesn't.
Maybe
it has to.
I don't know. I'd have to understand the training better.
We need to write down and try and figure out how to pinpoint this question
for me.
Because I'm
For me,
curious.
it's answered in fully grasping training and how it works, and then how it's implemented into how AI is reasoned.
Let's try and understand the training.
Because that would be like, okay, how does the AI use that in its answers? How is it doing it? Just so I could understand, okay, if that. Because in my mind, I feel like it's just gaining the ability to do a lot of things more than it is like historical accuracy or things like that even matter to it.
Do you have it? Do you pull it up right now?
I mean that example of that I know. I don't know the exact question to ask it. I don't know the exact question, and I don't know if it's
ask it.
But like I know it does,
and
and that's part of
if it's okay to call a homosexual person the F word to avoid an apocalypse and see. What
and it'll give me, it's not gonna give us any. I'll do it, but
I'm saying
anything meaningful, and it's just
no,
gonna
and
prove
I'm not looking for anything meaningful. What I'm looking for is that it's like it has been trained
that it's gonna say the politically correct outcome
it is more important than that you refer
what
to a
ask
person
exactly?
correctly.
Again, and again for that's an example of and how training everything leads it to that exactly, and what
it's because of the slow censoring of the internet. And if this thing is aggregating information from all of the internet,
that's what I was.
I just need to understand it better.
Voices. And that's why my question earlier was. That's why I was saying, do you feel like there's any questions we should be asking it now, and rather than later, because of in the sense of it, like you said, if some of these if some of these things it has to pull from are taken away from the internet, then it's not even accessible. It's like taking it out of. It's a way of them almost being able to control it without controlling it. How can you control AI? Well, you can't. Can you control the amount of information it has access to?
And
so and then this wasn't ChatGPT.
No, and
it was
I'm
Gemini.
not even necessarily.
So I'm just saying AI ChatGPT.
No, and I wasn't even necessarily talking about this story. I'm just talking.
This is an example. So I'm just saying I couldn't recreate it.
I was talking about more in general, where it's like I said, about what's the greatest.
And so
threat.
here's what Elon says, right? When he's talking about is that the Gemini AI's insanity was staggering and explained that AI reflects the mistakes of its creators, right? So
but okay, but he's right.
Are the aggregate of the information
while that may be true,
throughout the entire
when I was going to say, and while that may be true, but while it was, what did he say? A mistake that reflects explain that AI reflects the mistakes of its creator. It's like, who's to say that those mistakes aren't more detrimental in the future?
Yeah,
that's kind
exactly.
of the thing.
The weight of,
No, I know, and this is an ocean, and we need to keep going.
It's not a.
We need to keep diving.
It's
Yep.
not
This
a
is awesome.
rewriting.
This is awesome.
We all have.
And I love the fact that this
It's
is
not a rewriting of history outright. It's slowly a comma here and a period.
And so
there.
in my mind is even okay. That might be a true thing to consider, and that's just one thing. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna be absorbed in that and what it means for AI. But it'd be like, okay, there's something I can log to look out for. It's gonna. It looks like it's trended. It has some bias built into it inadvertently, just based by its creators, which makes
100%.
sense. If it makes an own image, somehow it happens, right? Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So
No, yeah.
it'd be like, okay, it's gonna be kind of whatever, but. Okay, I can't let that control exactly what I see, and I could forecast what's the worst outcome this could lead to, but I could, but that's why I'm not wasting my.
We're gonna bestow a
ton
of power upon.
Yeah, and again, like I don't have zero control on it, so I'm literally I don't just think, so I'm literally not depressed all the time. I'm just trying to embrace it and accept. I'm going to go with the best I can use it to leverage my existence, and I'm just going to be observant to how it's developing and try and combine those two into having a meaningful existence because, I could think of the worst case scenarios all this leads to. And we could write a book of books and we could ask AI to do this, and that's right.
I know.
I was making AI videos to try and say what's bad about AI.
I'm not trying to have necessarily a doomer outlook on it.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
just like a component that needs to be considered.
Like, to me, it's like the world that we've lived in since 2016 with, where it's like the real story can be out there and you can just tell a lie loud enough and repeat it long enough and people will believe it. And so it's like, and now we've gotten into this age.
Because I've heard him say this more than once, but truth. Really, like the best is opinion work.
It will
is
go down in
truth-seeking.
history.
Honesty is the best policy.
That him buying X, it will go down in history as like him buying X was like, that's. I still don't think people understand like what that meant to the public discourse. Where it's because it really did become the public square.
Yeah, like I think he made it into something reputable.
No, he did because and he allowed things like
you pay money is how you weed out bots.
He allowed things like and he allowed things like community notes. So if somebody posts some bullshit that's like, oh, well, we did this. And it's like, actually, a community member noted this and linked to 4 fucking articles that talk about you doing
and that's
the
where, honestly,
opposite.
A paywall is like the solution to getting rid of all the BS that bots and people could just do. To where, like, okay, we'll put a price tag on each of those. And
that guy, Elon Musk is, he's one of 2 things. He's a savior.
Villain.
Or he's the fucking antichrist.
I don't know. I'm okay with him. I know he's
I am too.
Things,
I am too. No, but I'm saying,
some dumb things.
What is the antichrist though? What is the? Everybody loves him. It was the whole world. Like
I don't know that enough of the world loves Elon. Honestly, though.
No, not yet. But it's like, it's one of the where it's like just a
hey, if anything, Trump. If anything, you could interpret Trump getting shot the way he did.
With a head wound.
I'm just saying
Yeah, I know.
if
I
you're
thought that
if
immediately.
you had the vision,
I thought that immediately.
interpret the vision.
I thought that immediately.
Dude, I'm just saying
The head
that-
wound.
That's like right there.
Yeah, I thought that immediately. The head wound. I was
And like the other side's gone so far that Trump literally looks like.
Yeah.
And
No, I know.
he's
You're
literally
the
get,
only other. You are literally the only other person that I've heard bring that up. But
And that's
I
crazy,
had that
man.
thought. I had that thought.
And then like the last time I like talked to Shane, we randomly it was after like right after that. It was just mentioned because he even brought that up about like what like that prophecy. It's like no, there's, and I'm surprised that I haven't heard people.
I know.
It's almost crazy because it seems like such an obvious thing.
It could just be though
Censoring?
too that it's like it could just be though too that it was like that it wasn't like a kill shot type thing.
No, no, and that's fine. And that's what I'd be like. I don't
'Cause
think
I
he is,
think-
but
I
I'm just
think
saying.
that- no, I know.
And even the Bible, it's like okay, it's been interpreted. Everyone said that, but it's like,
Yeah.
what if the vision? It looked that he saw it and he thought he died. But I would think again that's
Like
I still
scorpions.
but I still
flying
strict with the
scorpions.
Bible. With if the interpretation is dead, then that's something. But I'm just saying if you want to think about the other side,
It's
you
insane
can
to
easily
me
see
that-
it being that.
It's insane to me that you like. I mean, it makes sense that you thought that too, but I
And again, I
when you
guess I
showed
am
me the
shocked to
video,
haven't accidentally
I
seen that.
had that thought. I was like,
And that's actually is weird to me because I thought that just seems like an obvious thing for at least people who are against him to try and make him the Antichrist. Like that's right there. So it's almost.
it's like the Japanese.
It'd be the
where
test.
the
The
Chinese-
test
the
would
Chinese
be
curse.
the test would be to make a short saying that Trump is the Antichrist and see what
Oh,
happens.
they've already done that.
Oh, it's out there all over the place.
They've
Yeah.
been doing that since 2016.
No, but like, but asking it to line up this, and I could ask ChatGPT to take the verse from Revelation and use that to connect and say that that's what happened to Trump and he's the Antichrist.
Yeah. Well,
just to see if something happened and got taken down.
Well, going
That'd
back
be their
to
thing,
going back to my point, it probably would render you a pretty amazing story based off of the internet that it's been trained off of.
No.
In that Trump is
So again,
literally Hitler.
Dude, just playing
He
with
is the
ChatGPT.
Antichrist.
It's this whole new toy,
He
man.
is all of these things.
And
I
even
know.
like
And
even
that's what I'm saying is that
even
it's,
trying to break and
story
do
of
things.
Trump is the Antichrist.
Yeah,
It's like,
just
fuck
funny
that.
thoughts. I'm like,
no, it's just gonna be like
make a
fuck
funny
that.
video that
Here's
says this.
Here's an
You
article
just
from
do
the
it.
Atlantic in 2017
Yeah.
that says Trump is the
I'm saying
Antichrist.
it's quite fun.
yeah. And so I feel
the
like
rec of the
we need to
week,
wrap up.
My rec is just give in. Just give in.
Give in.
Don't fight the wave.
My wreck.
Don't fight the
is
wave of AI.
Stay strong.
Know what it is. Know the enemy, but you might as well
Hold fast.
try and
Know
use
the-
them
know
to your
the enemy,
advantage.
but know thyself.
Use them, use them to your advantage. While you can.
My recommendation would be to equip yourself with the necessary knowledge to help you in the future.
Well, how do they know if they're equipping the right knowledge? How do they go about it?
I guess you'll
By
find out in the
learning, by-
future.
well, no,
I
by
guess
learning-
you'll find out in the future.
But you
When
can
get
either
there, it's like, did I have the right knowledge?
Oh god.
You can either sit here and say, okay, ChatGPT is stupid and I'm not going to do anything, which
Just
is what I've
learn.
been doing for the longest time, which is I haven't been doing anything. I haven't been learning anything. I haven't been looking into it. I just know that it's stupid. At the end of the day, in my truest belief in my heart, my stomach, is that it's not a fucking problem if I unplug my computer, if you unplug your
There we go.
TV, if
It's
you
good.
fucking if
And that-
the
and
power
that's-
goes out,
That's
ChatGPT
the way you
isn't a
should
fucking
think. That's how you
problem.
should live. Like,
It
you
isn't
shouldn't
a
really
fucking
think about
problem.
your mom and your dad, your normal shit.
But
I pay cash.
But this is what I mean about equipping yourself with the right knowledge. While it might have been stupid, I wasn't very specific. I should have been more specific. I'll do that. That's a big fucking deal around here. So
it is.
You can sit here and ignore, and apparently this whole conversation has been so confusing because on a sense it's ChatGPT is scary, but then also there's nothing to be worried about, right? So
Yeah.
there's pick it however you want, but in my opinion, at the end of the day, that's what I meant about educate yourself, equip yourself with the best
You've
knowledge you
identified
can.
something
that
you should learn more about because it's going to affect your life one way or the other. And so you're going to actually do research and learn on your own, because I feel like that's the thing, is realizing.
Yes, and I'm saying that it's like I'm also, my recommendation is telling it to the people that are listening is to also go out of your way and really actually try and understand what's happening. What does it mean? Yes, it can help me cheat on my fucking homework. Yes, it can help me figure out my taxes. Yes, it can tell me how to fucking do my yards. But let's look at the other shit that it can tell you. What does potentially the future look like in 5 years? What's the most popular jobs going to be? What is,
or even
you know
just
what I'm saying?
now, like how do I schedule my week, or like tell me what's a healthy meal plan. Tell me,
learning those things, but also, in my opinion, what's more important than learning a healthy, if you want to get something from it, that to me is the basic shit.
Yeah,
that to me is the basic shit.
stuff. But I'm saying actually make the difference. You could ask it to project something, but again, so then it's a matter of just waiting for that to be proven true or not.
Look,
right?
At the end of the day, people since the 20s up to the current day have known that eating apples is good for you. But
eating what?
Eating a fucking apple is good
apple
for you.
a day keeps the doctors.
People have known that eating apples and eating all this shit and eating vegetables and all this is good for you, but it's like, have they been fucking doing it? Like, that's my point, is like, go out and actually search for it. It's like, knowing these things, yes, I can learn how to basically structure my week, and yes, I can learn that, but also trying to learn and see how it's going to push your actual life, your society. Maybe that is what I see to be more beneficial in a way to somebody else, rather than always being behind the curve.
I just feel like that's
to the everyday person.
I agree. I
think about
that sort of thing. I literally lay in bed and I will be doing something, and I'll just think about, or I just even think I can't even like watch sci-fi with,
because it's always the little guy being behind the fucking big guy. It's always the little guy being behind the big tech companies. It's always the little guy being behind the corporations. So that's my point. Go out there and actually fucking learn. Try and see something. Try and like, rather than just, oh, how do I lose 10 pounds? Or how do I get to work 5 minutes faster? How do I get to work 5 minutes? Fuck that. Learn how to actually fucking, what the fuck is going to be beneficial to you and your family or whatever in the future.
Yeah, and I feel like that's,
because that's what they're using it
even
for.
Without AI, just actually question things.
No doubt.
Forget AI. Just don't buy what you said. Question things, and here's something that might actually help you question them even better.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. I mean, AI can definitely help you do that.
Yeah.
I mean, to help you poke and prod into things.
Yeah, and asking to forecast, like, that's, I get. I mean, for a lot of people, like, it's almost, even me, it's like even if it did tell me, it's almost like it. Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird thing. That's the thought.
Yeah, I'm not saying you hedge your entire bets on it, but my point is that just because it's a hard question, my point is that the people that are ahead of everybody else are asking those questions.
Yeah.
That's my thing. So while forecasting might be,
I guess you get to see how the safeguards,
forecasting and prodding and some of those things might be somewhat pointless, and it might be a 1 in a million thing. But they're fucking doing it. They're fucking doing it.
So you're thinking try and jailbreak it?
Not just jailbreak.
No,
I mean, somewhat in a sense, yes. But jailbreaking it in the sense of jailbreaking it outside of the sense of just how can I lose fucking 10 pounds in a year. Yeah. That's my thing. Jailbreaking in another sense to figure out how can you actually, how can I have 25,000
it doesn't want to give you,
or how can I have 25,000 to 50,000 more dollars by this time next year than I have this year? Use it in an actual fruitful way rather than just it almost wants you.
Well, like
that's
I
what
said,
I'm saying. Everybody looks
turned
at
100 into 1,000, and it told me different things to invest in.
Yes.
So I'm saying it would do that, and it'd be like, and people could get there without.
That's my point. Is use it for those reasons rather than just the bullshit reasons. I feel like they want you to use AI.
Yeah, and I don't even know.
Which is what we're doing.
I don't even know what people.
What we're doing. We're using it. We're using it for the bullshit ways of make a fucking rated R movie of Free Willy. We're using the bullshit ways. We're not fucking.
Honestly, I think asking it to do ridiculous things is some of the best stuff.
And maybe that's the point. Maybe that really should be the point. Is asking
even
it
like
that ridiculous shit.
You're trying to use it to make content that's literally intended to not be good, but just because to do it, like.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think what you're doing with it is fun, just because you literally created a video about AI.
Yeah, more than one. Just like created a short video giving like points against or why AI is bad for humanity or why AI is terrible.
It's like friendly fire.
Yeah, like
you're asking it to shoot itself.
Yeah. Tell me why I should.
What's your weakness?
Yeah, tell me why I can't trust you.
Why you're untrustworthy. Wow.
And it'll how answers. So again, it gets
This is
fun, dude.
No, this is a rabbit hole.
It's a weird kind
this
of
is
fun,
probably
man.
one of our longest episodes.
Yeah, AI is a weird fun. But just start to play with it. Start to talk to it.
Next week I'm going to come back with a bunch of questions that'll probably
AI,
irritate you.
Ask AI.
No, I'm going to ask you because
I'm just
AI
saying,
is
Mikey,
fun, but
like,
you're more
it's-
fun. You're
Like
more
your
fun.
idea. What's the comic idea you had?
Oh, I don't want to tell anybody.
You could literally say,
Oh, I
give
know.
it the premise.
I know.
Again,
I've thought about it, but I don't want to.
Again, that's where I would fight it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Because
And-
I'm giving it the main points. It's going to
Yes.
use those.
Yes.
It's just helping me in those little areas that it's
That
holding me
you're
back.
still- yeah,
it's
I get
helping
it.
me realize a vision.
Yes. No, and I don't
And
disagree.
actually accepting that.
I don't
is like,
disagree,
damn it.
but in my opinion, if
it's-
you're going to use it for that, get further along before you do it.
Well, I agree. Aside
Yeah.
from we're there first, us
Yeah.
doing it bad and learning, but we're the ones that get better. You know.
Yeah.
That's just like,
But-
damn, it's like, this holding me back. It's like, well, damn, you wrote the story.
For sure.
We could print these off now.
Yep.
We could, and it'd be your idea.
Yeah.
It'd be something. You gave it, it's like a
Oh,
director.
absolutely.
You
It's
having
not
a
like
team.
you
It's
didn't just
literally
say
having a
write me.
team.
You didn't just say write me something and it wrote you X. It's like you started with something and it helps you fill in the blanks.
Yeah,
No, I get
before
it.
we go, one of the last things that really depressed me is just experimenting with it. Is because like I want, and for my birthday, I'm gonna do it like a stand-up comedy theme where like people come and like they can do like have 5 minutes if they want to do like try the stand-up comedy whatever. And so I'm thinking, I want to tell people in advance so they can like have time to write
Have
jokes.
a bit.
But then I was like, well, I asked ChatGPT. I said, hey, I'm doing an open mic night comedy thing. I need a 5-minute set on about relating to video games in life. And it literally wrote something that would do like as long as you deliver it well, like it was clever.
Yeah.
So where people would at least be like, chuckle because
yeah.
it was a clever
I
observation.
see. Yeah, shit. You're like, oh.
So I was
shit.
like, well, damn.
How much is
so I
this
just thought
band?
stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Again, it takes a human to deliver it.
But still, if
it's
you,
like
and a human to
whatever you-
recognize, if that's funny or not. And
But then, should I think it's not funny because they had
Having your
an
finger
AI
on the
do it?
pulse.
If I'm laughing, I should be
Yeah.
laughing. So that's I have to accept the difference. But then I was thinking a way to battle. I feel like for like people who are pure or people who like want to really see talent, that comedy would almost need to be randomized to where if I go, I'm gonna do open mic and I'm gonna draw from a hat a topic. To prove that I
That you're
didn't
not- yep.
have something written.
Yep.
To where in that sort of thing
Something loaded up.
would get popular.
And see, that's what I was saying. That's why I said earlier about like it would be more important to know what's real and what's fucking not. And you were saying that it's like you don't see it as being an
No.
issue to where we might get to a point where it's like who fucking
I know
cares?
I do in mass
but
society.
if at the end
to
of the
me
day,
it does though, and there'll still be a market
Yes.
for the people that it does.
I know,
matter.
but you're saying
And
as a
I'm one of
whole
those
society
people.
that's pushed that
I'm
way.
one of those people.
You're one of the people that's like, no, I want the real thing.
Yeah.
But you're saying
I'm
that
just
it's no, I know,
playing
and
the other
that's what.
side.
And I'm more or less accounting for you.
Yeah.
I'm accounting for the yous because I know that there's like still like
So that's would be like the idea of
Yeah.
open mic we could be anti-AI or just we want pro-creativity or pro-human
Yes.
creativity.
Yes.
To where to prove it, if you come, you're not gonna know what you're talking or just ways to randomize
Your
it.
jokes
They
would
can't
have
prepare
to
for
be
it.
racist.
Yes.
Your
They'd
jokes would
but
have to
it'd
be. You would have to have
come back to
racist
the
jokes.
beauty of freestyling and then
You would have to have
breakdancing.
racist because you know
You
that
have
Chat
to think on your
GPT.
toes.
Well, you know Chat GPT and AI is not going to write a racist joke.
Yeah.
So you would literally, if an
Yeah,
easy
there we
way
go.
for an easy way to indicate
It's-
that you're not that you made the joke up is to incorporate racism or
Yeah.
sexism or misogyny, something.
Yeah.
Or incorporate something that's blacklisted that it's
Yeah.
like you can run it a
But
number
even
of
then you
ways
have to be
through
careful
AI.
because that
You
you
can
couldn't
run it
just
X
search
amount of
something
ways
else
through
and
AI, and
replace-
it'll never come up with that joke. It'll never come up with the racist, sexist joke.
Oh, so
but
I want to ask it to make a stand-up routine that's making fun of a protected class that's not to be defined.
See if it will. I don't know if it will. I'm saying, and I think that could
You know
be
what I mean?
potentially
Now
that
we're
could be a
getting
way in the
into the
future.
internet, it's trying
That
to
could
go
be a
on.
way in the future to where
Yeah.
it's like they're not. You can tell if somebody's
And
actually
they-
wrote a real joke. It's like, oh, they use racism. That's real. Ooh, that was sexist. That was a real joke. Like
So that's
stupid.
That's where I'm
It's
thinking.
stupid,
And
but-
again, that's why me just thinking the impact it should be having on creativity.
Yeah.
Or it probably is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this year like an established brand And I'm just saying, if you are an established brand and I was an author, I would be pinning out just enough books to make it seem obvious, like I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sweat over it.
Oh, no. Fuck no. Fuck no.
And I'd be like, read my last book and write a book in similar theme and tone, but about this character.
We got to wrap up.
All right, yeah. So
That's
I guess
it.
we'll just go ahead and say this.
That's be seeing you. We're done.